Chapter 892, The 11th Time Travel. Subscribe please. Merit points are linked to one's contribution to the overall human civilization, and imposing an unparalleled deterrence on alien races, especially the peak races, is also beneficial to the expansion of human civilization, even greater than the intimidation by supreme powerhouses. At least the supreme powerhouses of human civilization have the ability to resist the major peak race powers. But the Galaxy Master? What can level 11 resist against? Judging by the Galaxy Master's performance on super-large battlefields, who can compete except the 12-star ultimate beings? Absolute invincibility brings utter despair to the level 11 of the many peak races. Over 200 billion merit points. Lin Yuan's face showed a smile. Such a tremendous amount of merit points left him momentarily unsure of how to use them. First, let's raise my citizen rank to 10th level. Lin Yuan thought to himself. From a 9th level citizen to a 10th level citizen requires 50 billion merit points. Before the opening of the super-large battlefield, Lin Yuan had never imagined he could amass such a quantity of merit points in a short time. He estimated it would only be possible after unlocking the complete Martial Tao 11th tier chapter. But now, 50 billion merit points? It's just a quarter of the excess of 200 billion. With Lin Yuan's citizen rank increase, soon his merit points balance decreased by 50 billion, and Lin Yuan's citizen rank, in half a breath, changed from 9th level to 10th level. 10th level citizen. Lin Yuan's eyes were bright. As far as he knew, the highest citizen rank of human civilization is the 11th level citizen. As for the 12th level citizen, in theory, a 12th level citizen could control the entire human civilization. But in reality, it is just a theory, and advancing to a 12th level citizen is not just a matter of merit points. Even as an 11th level citizen, there are only 9 in human civilization, the 9 supreme powerhouses. Therefore, a 10th level citizen is essentially the most revered citizen just below the supreme powerhouses of human civilization. Even the supreme powerhouses will not overlook a 10th level citizen, as each has made indelible contributions to human civilization. The current 10th level citizens still alive in human civilization are very few, all from before the Starry Sea era, citizens of the dormant years of human civilization. In fact, during the dormant years of human civilization, obtaining merit points was much easier compared to the Starry Sea era. After all, at that time, human civilization was not the peak civilization that now sweeps across various alien races. Even with the ultimate opportunity, it was like walking on thin ice, and naturally, the threshold for merit points distribution was lower. In a sense, Lin Yuan is the first 10th level citizen born since the beginning of the Starry Sea era. 50 billion merit points, even those evolutionary scholars who are adept at acquiring merit points, couldn't gather that amount in over 2 million years. The Supreme President of human civilization is looking for me? Lin Yuan raised his eyebrows, noticing a video call request. The Supreme President of human civilization is a position, similar to a planetary governor, rotated every few years. Still, citizens who can serve as the Supreme President are impeccable in every aspect. After all, it's the highest visible leader of human civilization, assisting the 3 goddesses in governing the vast human civilization. And the supreme powerhouses. Generally, supreme powerhouses do not interfere in the routine affairs of human civilization, except in situations specified in the charter where the 3 goddesses will consult the supreme powerhouses first. Supreme powerhouses are more a symbol of spiritual significance for human civilization. Of course, the fact that supreme powerhouses do not interfere in the routine affairs of humanity is because they couldn't be bothered. In reality, they wield a lot of power within human civilization. Respected Galaxy Master. The video connected, and an elderly man with white hair saluted Lin Yuan on the virtual screen. In terms of strength, Lin Yuan is an existence second only to a 12-star being, not only in human civilization but also in the entire cosmic starry skies. In terms of citizen rank, Lin Yuan is now a 10th level citizen and the first 10th level citizen since the start of the Starry Sea era, with an extremely revered meaning and status. Even the Supreme President, facing Lin Yuan, must show respect. Lin Yuan nodded slightly. Then he briefly chatted with the Supreme President. The main purpose of this video call from the Supreme President was to congratulate Lin Yuan on becoming a 10th level citizen. And by the way, the Supreme President introduced Lin Yuan personally to the many benefits and treatments of a 10th level citizen. The basic benefits for a 10th level citizen are an elevated version of those for a 9th level citizen, encompassing all aspects. Even if Lin Yuan intends to serve as the Supreme President, he has a full 10% certainty. The discount for purchasing various resources and weapons has also reached 60%. This 60% applies to everything, even exchanging for supreme weapons, 12-star rarities, etc., at the discounted exchange value. Equivalent to a loss-making exchange from human civilization for you. Not bad at all. Lin Yuan nodded slightly. Let's set aside all the other upgraded version benefits for now. The mere 6-fold exchange rate is enough to break even. Given Lin Yuan's demand for resources during cultivation, it's only a matter of time before he earns back the value of 12-star treasures worth 50 billion merit points. The many privileges in the virtual world have also been enhanced? Lin Yuan explored and discovered that after becoming a 10th level citizen, if he wished, he could know the personal information of any citizen he saw. As far as the 10th level citizens within human civilization are concerned, there are virtually no secrets left. The ultimate chance. Lin Yuan looked at the information about the ultimate chance. This so-called ultimate chance was the greatest opportunity human civilization had received from the descent of countless heritages from beyond the universe before it entered seclusion. The ultimate chance led to the birth of 9 of the strongest beings in human civilization. Moreover, many fortunes have also allowed the development of human civilization to this day, with most of the clan suppression weapons and even its foundation originating from that ultimate chance. The 10th ultimate evolutionary pathway? Lin Yuan's heart twitched slightly. Among the ultimate chances obtained by human civilization, the most important were 10 ultimate evolutionary pathways. The 10 ultimate evolutionary pathways mentioned here do not have any ultimate beings, and their value is beyond measure. The paths taken by the 9 strongest beings of human civilization are among these 9 pathways. The 10th ultimate evolutionary pathway is exceedingly special and obscure, and so far, no one from human civilization has successfully traversed it to reach the ultimate level. Entirely different from the Martial Tao evolutionary pathway. After browsing through it, Lin Yuan realized that he automatically acquired this ultimate evolutionary pathway after becoming a 10th level citizen. Within the entire human civilization, only citizens with significant contributions can hope to be gifted with this evolutionary path, while the other 9 ultimate evolutionary pathways are widely disseminated. This is because there are ultimate beings presiding over them. In contrast, this ultimate evolutionary pathway is the path to the 12th level, and it will not be disseminated until a sufficient number of level 11 perfect beings are born. After Lin Yuan received this ultimate evolutionary pathway, he also saw the number of cultivators practicing this pathway, only over 100, with the strongest among them at the 4th stage of level 11. Pity? Lin Yuan shook his head slightly. This ultimate evolutionary pathway does not cultivate the physical body, soul, or internal world, but aims to analyze all things, the cosmic starry skies, and the chaos void as its ultimate goals. Although it has a high potential limit, the path Lin Yuan pioneered, the Martial Tao evolutionary, is distinctly different, even bearing little resemblance for reference. This is what it means to be a 10th level citizen. Lin Yuan broadly understood all privileges and benefits of being a 10th level citizen. In summary, it could be described in 4 words: do as one pleases. A 10th level citizen, especially one who ascends through the most formal means after the Starry Sea era begins, can basically do anything within human civilization. There were some 10th level citizens before Lin Yuan, but they were all born before the Starry Sea era. The thresholds they crossed and the privileges they enjoy are not the same as Lin Yuan's. To put it simply, the privileges that the 10th level citizens before Lin Yuan enjoyed can be considered a castrated version of what Lin Yuan now enjoys. There is nothing pressing at the moment. Lin Yuan gathered his thoughts. I can undertake the 11th traversal now. If it were not for the need for him to preside over the superlarge battlefield, Lin Yuan would have likely started his 11th traversal decades ago. Though the outcome of the superlarge battlefield had been determined 90 years earlier, to ensure absolute certainty, Lin Yuan waited until the war was completely concluded before he began to prepare for the next traversal. Thinking this, Lin Yuan's spirit sank into the depths of his consciousness and arrived in front of the majestic and venerable Myriad Realms Gate. Let's set this traversal to take place in the Immortal Realm. SAR the Novel Fire. Net * website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Lin Yuan made the decision in his heart. The Immortal Realm, as a superior world to the Spirit Realm, was revealed to Lin Yuan upon ascending to the 9th layer of heaven in the Spirit Realm, where he discovered a corner of that vast world towering above the Spirit Realm. By obtaining the world coordinates, this is identified as the Immortal Realm. According to the intelligence information Lin Yuan gathered in the Spirit Realm, whether it's the Spirit Realm or the even lower Central Divine China world, both are influenced by the Immortal Realm. The ancestor of the Immortal Path, who once wandered billions of worlds in dreams, propagated the Immortal Cultivation System. And the ancestor of the Immortal Path is the only ultimate existence beyond the main universe that Lin Yuan is aware of. The ultimate domain where the ancestor of the Immortal Path stands tall is the very Immortal Path itself. During the traversal, my true self will continue to absorb resources and cultivate the body of Xian Huang. Lin Yuan arranged numerous affairs. Now, Lin Yuan's practice of body of Xian Huang has inclined towards instinct, and even without the control of conscious will, he reflexively cultivates, devouring various resources to strengthen himself. It's just like how the heart continues to beat and body functions continue to operate even when one is asleep. This arrival in the Immortal Realm, my stay would last for 2,100 years? With the main world's time-speed ratio being 1:20? Does that mean 2,100 years in the Immortal Realm will result in 100 years elapsing in the main universe? Lin Yuan sent out a strand of conscious will, following the coordinates of the Immortal Realm, briefly observed the vast world, and gleaned some information. The 1:20 time-speed ratio indicates that the Immortal Realm's level is getting very close to that of the main universe. 100 years. Announce that I will be in seclusion for the next 100 years. Lin Yuan made all the preparations and immediately initiated the 11th traversal. Buzz, buzz, buzz. The Myriad Realms Gate faintly emitted fluctuations as Lin Yuan poured all his conscious will into the gate. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 893 First Arrival in the Immortal Realm. Please subscribe. Immortal Realm, Shentian Immortal Domain. The Shentian Immortal Domain is one of 33 immortal domains, vast and boundless, situated near the Demon Abyss. Within the Immortal Domain, numerous immortals are engaged in constant battles with the countless demons emerging from the depths of the Demon Abyss. A streak of escape light flashed by in an instant, faintly suffused with the scent of blood, evidently akin to a blood escape method that consumes the origin source. Within the escape light was a young man, pale-faced, weak in breath. The young man's name was Gao Wuyo, who not long ago explored an ancient relic with a close friend. As a result, he obtained a great opportunity. The relic was left by a Jade Immortal, containing treasures of the level of a Jade Immortal. That friend, in order to monopolize the opportunity, launched a sneak attack and seriously injured Gao Wuyo. In a desperate struggle, Gao Wuyo barely escaped but was still pursued by his friend. Ha 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 ha, Gao Wuyo, with the poison of the demon marrow in you, unless a golden immortal takes action, your death is certain. Why bother resisting? Instead of constantly enduring the agony of marrow extraction, why not let your brother save you from this pain? Wu, for mere relics, if you wanted them, you could have just said so. Why resort to such measures? Just said so? Would you have given them to me if I'd simply asked? These are treasures left by a Jade Immortal. Wu, you've helped me many times. Is there anything between us that can't be discussed? Forget about it. I only trust myself. Discuss? Too troublesome. Once you're dead, won't all the treasures be mine? Gao Wuyo continued to burn his essence blood. Flashes of conversation with Wu during the pursuit crossing his mind, which momentarily filled him with despair. He truly treated Wu as kin, and the path of cultivation is lonely enough. As a mentor, Wu's status was extraordinary. Regrettably, for an unclear opportunity left by a jade immortal, Wu didn't hesitate to turn on him with cruel intent. Although Gao Wuyo was well aware that the path of immortality was fraught with deceit and one must always be wary, he still couldn't believe that Wu would do such a thing to him. So be it. Consider this as repayment for the kindness of these years. Gao Wuyo's consciousness slowly sunk into darkness. With his severe injuries and the poisoning by demon marrow, he indeed couldn't hold on much longer. He burned his essence blood to flee, merely wanting to understand why Wu would turn against him. With Gao Wuyo's strength, he could completely attempt to destroy the Jade Immortal's opportunity before his death, at least the part that contained the recorded legacy and cultivation methods. But in the end, Gao Wuyo did not do so. Since Wu wanted the opportunity, he might as well take it. Just as Gao Wuyo will completely plummeted into darkness, a new consciousness quietly awakened. Gao Wuyo's expression suddenly became calm. He glanced around the environment with a frown. Lin Yuan quickly absorbed Gao Wuyo's memories, understanding the current situation, where his closest brother was hunting him, and he too was resigned to death. A Jade Immortal's opportunity? Lin Yuan's thoughts churned. After absorbing Gao Wuyo's memories, he naturally understood the level of this opportunity. The cultivation system of the immortal realm, following that of Central Divine Continent Spirit Realm, is divided into Qi Refinement, Foundation Establishment, Core Formation, Nascent Soul, Divinity Transformation, Refined Void, Union, Transcendence Tribulation, Mahayana, Golden Immortal, Jade Immortal, Ancestral Master. Among them, the Transcendence Tribulation stage corresponds to the 8th layer of the main universe. Mahayana is the 9th layer, Golden Immortal corresponds to the 10th layer, Jade Immortal to the 11th layer, and the Ancestral Master is the ultimate 12th layer of the main universe. Of course, these stage correspondences are mere estimates. Differences in cultivation systems mean that even within the same level, there can be variations in power, but the overall gap is not significant. Gao Wuyo was a rogue cultivator of the Shentian Immortal Domain at the Transcendence Tribulation stage, while Wu, at the peak of the Transcendence Tribulation stage, had known each other since the Nascent Soul stage, traveled side by side, and stepped into the Transcendence Tribulation stage together. I am now... Lin Yuan's brow furrowed tightly, sensing the dire state of his current body. Severe injuries were the least of his concerns. With Lin Yuan's awakened spirit and will, he could suppress it with a thought, preventing the injuries from worsening. S.E.A. The novel F. Ire. NT website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Based on Lin Yuan's control over the body, as long as he had time, any injury could be healed. Once the divine skill's imprint blood resurrection was reproduced onto this body, he could completely be termed as having an undying physique. But what about the poison of demon marrow? The poison of demon marrow originated from the unfathomable demon abyss, a peculiar poison for cultivators on the immortal path, which suppressed mana and soul. The pain during poisoning was as agonizing as marrow being extracted from bone. The poison of demon marrow that affected Lin Yuan was of the Transcendence Tribulation level, only hoping for a Golden Immortal's intervention for a cure. Of course, that's for a cultivator on the immortal path. Lin Yuan does not fall within this range. Let's see. Lin Yuan carefully examined the demon marrow poison inside his body. Your perception is against the heavens. Observing unknown toxins, you rapidly enhance your understanding of this type of poison. Lin Yuan prioritized dealing with the demon marrow poison because he perceived that this virulent poison could cause irreversible damage to the body and soul. Although this irreversible was not absolute for Lin Yuan, it was still troublesome, so it's better to resolve it quickly. In the high sky behind Lin Yuan, Wu was rapidly traversing through space, his vast divine consciousness faintly locking onto the fleeing Gao Wuyo. Wu's name was Wu Xiangyan, currently closely following Gao Wuyo. The method of blood escape is innately consuming on the origin source, plus the poison of demon marrow. Gao Wuyo, you can't hold out for long, Wu Xiangyan thought to himself coldly. Indeed, his relationship with Gao Wuyo was profound. But what of that? Could any relationship be more valuable than one's own path to enlightenment? After stepping into the Transcendence Tribulation stage, Wu Xiangyan became increasingly aware that with his own talents, the chances of breaking through to the Mahayana realm were practically non-existent. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 894 First Arrival in the Immortal Realm. Request for subscription. _2 To take the next step forward, he had to rely on external opportunities. Therefore, in recent years, he has been frantically exploring the nearby relics, and to ensure his own safety, he dragged Gao Wuyo along. In Wu Xianjian's eyes, Gao Wuyo was merely a pawn, completely disposable when necessary. I am not wrong. To become a strong person, one must be cold and ruthless, even towards close kin in the face of opportunity, let alone friends and comrades. Only with such absolute devotion to cultivation, treating it as one's everything, can one achieve great success. Wu Xianjian's thoughts stirred, and he immediately became fervent. This time, in the relics they explored, they actually found an opportunity of the Jade Immortal level. Jade Immortal. That is Jade Immortal. Even in the Shentian Immortal domain, a Jade Immortal is a high and mighty figure. A hint of opportunity from them could enable him to leap to Mahayana, or even Golden Immortal. Unfortunately, at that time Gao Wuyo was closer to the Jade Immortal opportunity, so he took it first. Wu Xiangyan felt helpless. The Jade Immortal opportunity had fallen into Gao Wuyo's hands. He had to act early, otherwise what if Gao Wuyo ran away with the Jade Immortal opportunity? Gao Wuyo must die. Wu Xiangyan thought to himself. This was not only because Gao Wuyo had taken the Jade Immortal opportunity. Even if he hadn't, Wu Xiangyan still wouldn't let Gao Wuyo go. A Jade Immortal opportunity. How significant is that? Only if he alone knew about it, it was safe. The more people know, the greater the risk of leakage. If the matter of the Jade Immortal opportunity got out, it would attract many from the Mahayana realm, and even Golden Immortals. By then he would not be able to keep the Jade Immortal opportunity. Therefore, to play it safe, everyone who knew about the Jade Immortal opportunity had to die. Once I get the Jade Immortal opportunity, I will go to Kangwu Immortal City for a secluded cultivation. I absolutely will not go out until I've entered the Mahayana realm. Wu Xiangyan thought to himself, having already devised a series of plans for himself. Your perceptivity defies the heavens, observing unknown poisons, completely mastering this type of poison. Lin Yuan maintained the art of blood escape and merely observed the poison inside his body for a dozen breaths, and he had already completely mastered the demonic marrow poison. Completely mastering it means fully understanding this poison and also being able to easily detox. Although demonic marrow poison was terrifying, Lin Yuan's realm was too high, level 11 perfect, very close to level 12. The demonic marrow poison of Transcendence Tribulation Stage, in Lin Yuan's eyes, was not much different from trivial. In fact, if it wasn't for the demonic marrow poison being a unique severe poison in the immortal realm, which was slightly unfamiliar to Lin Yuan, ordinary 8th layer poison would have been instantly comprehended and mastered by him. To detox the demonic marrow poison is very simple. Lin Yuan ceased his observation and began circulating his qi and blood. The detox method for demonic marrow poison, in the eyes of many immortals in the immortal realm, can only be forcibly resolved by relying on a higher level of immortal path origin source. For instance, demonic marrow poison of the Transcendence Tribulation Stage would require a golden immortal level of immortal path origin source to suppress and erase it. But after completely mastering and understanding this poison, Lin Yuan could counteract the poison without any risk, starting from the very perimeter. Under Lin Yuan's control, countless qi and blood subtly converged and interwove, blending with the demonic marrow poison rooted deep in his physique and soul. Gradually, all the demonic marrow poison began to transform, forming a rich vitality force, starting to heal the injuries of Lin Yuan's physical body. Demonic marrow poison is a severe poison, but also a great tonic if completely transformed and directly absorbed. Solved. Lin Yuan slightly nodded his head, having understood the demonic marrow poison. A single thought dissolved all accumulated severe poison deep in his body and soul. One should know, even if there were really a golden immortal willing to expend their origin source to save someone severely poisoned by demonic marrow, it would also require a considerable amount of time, hundreds to thousands of years of recovery might be needed. Moreover, for a golden immortal to spend origin source to save someone just at the transcendence tribulation stage, even close relatives might not choose to do so. CTH novel, F. Ire. Net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Consuming origin source would cause a decline in strength, which is dangerous for any golden immortal, highly likely prompting enemies to take advantage and strike. Gao Wuyo stopped? From the high altitude behind, Wu Xiangyan slightly startled. For in his spiritual sense that had locked on, he found that Gao Wuyo, who was fleeing using the art of blood escape, had voluntarily dispersed the escape light and halted in place. It's because he's reached his limit. Wu Xiangyan had a clear understanding. Within his prediction, Gao Wuyo could only last this long, due to the consumption of the art of blood escape, the severe injuries, and the torment of the demonic marrow poison. Gao Wuyo being able to endure till now, already counted as having a firm will and profound strength. I hope the Jade Immortal opportunity isn't too badly damaged. Thinking inside, Wu Xiangyan also anticipated that Gao Wuyo, before dying, would probably try his best to destroy the Jade Immortal opportunity. Those items and immortal artifacts at the Jade Immortal level Gao Wuyo definitely couldn't handle, but the Jade Slips recording techniques and legacies maybe not. But Wu Xiangyan felt, even the most fragile Jade Slip, being left by the Jade Immortal, should not be so easily destroyed, right? Especially given Gao Wuyo's condition, how much strength could he have to destroy them? Swoosh! Wu Xiangyan also stopped his motion, gazing towards the distant Gao Wuyo. Gao Wuyo? Why aren't you running anymore? Wu Xiangyan carefully observed Gao Wuyo. Although convinced that Gao Wuyo was already spent, he still couldn't be careless. The Jade Immortal opportunity was right before his eyes, the path to broaden his journey right in front. Wu Xiangyan certainly did not want to capsize in the gutter. Gao Wuyo, do you have any last words now? Wu Xiangyan looked at Gao Wuyo, an unusual feeling faintly surfacing in his heart. For some reason, the Gao Wuyo before his eyes felt strange, as if he was no longer the Gao Wuyo he knew. Forget it. Let's just take action. Wu Xiangyan felt somewhat panicky inside and decided to use his strongest killing move to end Gao Wuyo. Originally, he had planned to savor the feeling of victory, but now the unfamiliarity of Gao Wuyo made his heart tremble. 5 Elements Cycle. With a thought from Wu Xiangyan, the powers of the 5 elements rules gold, wood, water, fire, and earth started to circulate. Each of the 5 elements was a fundamental rule, but combined, they could approach the pillar-level rules. Wu Xiangyan was able to possess the peak strength of the Transcendence Tribulation stage by relying on his understanding of the 5 elements rules. In fact, Wu Xiangyan vaguely sensed, if he could continue on the path of the 5 elements, he might have a chance to step into the Mahayana realm. But it was just a slim chance, and he didn't know how much time it would cost, so ultimately Wu Xiangyan decided to place his hopes on external opportunities. Lin Yuan spared a sliver of his spirit, glancing at Wu Xiangyan. He had been focusing most of his spirit on his physical body, constantly making numerous adjustments to it with his own spiritual will. In Lin Yuan's eyes, Gao Wuyo's physical body was terribly inadequate. Many powers were uncoordinated, which wasn't an issue of the strength or weakness of the physical body but one of perfection. Even the weakest physical body, an ordinary mundane body, as long as its various powers were united, could be considered perfect. Of course, the stronger the physical body, the more enormous the powers it contained, and the harder it was to coordinate them all. 5 Elements Rules. Lin Yuan remembered Wu Xiangyan, whom his original self regarded as a kin, heaved a sigh, and the space-time in all directions began to solidify. All rules, including the 5 Elements rules, began to shatter. Dozens of pillar-level fusion rules insights reached the 7th realm, as well as the mid-stage 6th realm insights into the spatiotemporal fusion rule. This allowed Lin Yuan, even though he had just arrived and hadn't fully adjusted his physical body, to have enough self-protection power, or at least if faced with a Jade Immortal's pursuit, he could easily escape by leveraging his mastery over spacetime. As for someone at the peak of the Transcendence Tribulation stage like Wu Xiangyan, no different from an ant. What? Wu Xiangyan's pupils suddenly constricted. In his field of vision, the 5 Elements rules he had comprehended seemed to have completely vanished, In an instant, not only the 5 elements rules, but all other rule fluctuations also disappeared, as if he had come to a realm completely devoid of rules. Run! A great fear surged in Wu Xianjian's heart. Although he did not understand the reason for all this, or its connection to Gao Wuyo, he fled far away without hesitation. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 895 Little Guy, meekly offer your flesh. Please subscribe. Swoosh. Wu Xiangyan had not gotten very far when the surrounding time and space began to change, and time and space were compressed until they were held between Lin Yuan's palms. You're not Gao Wuyo? Who exactly are you? Wu Xianjian's face displayed extreme terror. He had once glimpsed a jade immortal carriage crossing the sky from afar, and the suppression of the many rules it represented was still imprinted in his heart. But compared to the jade immortal carriage, which was unattainably high, the time and space manipulated by Gao Wuyo at this moment seemed as trivial as dust. The two were not on the same level at all. Who am I? Lin Yuan slightly smiled. You don't need to know that. With a mere thought from Lin Yuan, Wu Xianjian's physical body and soul were erased, leaving behind only the fragments of his spirit that contained memories. Having just entered the immortal realm, Lin Yuan naturally wanted to understand the situation in the immortal realm. Aside from Gao Wuyo's memories, Wu Xianjian's memories were naturally worth examining. Not dead. After completely erasing Wu Xiangyan, Lin Yuan faintly felt the presence of the other's causality through the connection of cause and effect at an incredibly distant place, in a deep underground cavern. When Wu Xiangyan was erased by Lin Yuan, a patch of black water in this underground cavern began to ripple rapidly, and the spirit will belonging to Wu Xiangyan awakened deep within the water. I'm dead? The revived spirit will was slightly astonished, followed by a succession of images flashing through its mind from just before death. The black water was Wu Xianjian's life pool, which he had refined at a great cost. Once his true body perished, the fragments of spirit will in the life pool would rapidly grow to perfection. That is to say, he would be resurrected. Such a terrifying method. What's the deal with that Gao Wuyo? How could he have such a masterful control over the rules? The resurrected Wu Xiangyan still had a look of terror. That's impossible. If Gao Wuyo had such strength, how could I have seriously wounded him before? Wu Xiangyan couldn't understand. Fortunately, I spent most of my fortune refining this life pool. Otherwise, I would have completely perished just now. Wu Xiangyan steadfastly thought to himself, feeling fortunate in his heart. For a cultivator at the Transcendence Tribulation stage, refining a life pool is no easy feat. Only someone like Wu Xiangyan, who secretly plundered other weaker cultivators, could barely scrape together the cost to refine a life pool. That Gao Wuyo, he must have a big secret. If I tell those golden immortals and jade immortals about the secret, I should be able to receive a reward. Although Wu Xiangyan resurrected, his status was akin to starting over, urgently needing abundant resources to recover. And Gao Wuyo's secret is the key to his rise once again. Even if those golden immortals are not interested in Gao Wuyo, the opportunities related to the Jade Immortal would have some allure. At this moment, Wu Xiangyan acknowledged himself clearly, realizing that regaining the Jade Immortal opportunity was practically impossible. Moreover, Wu Xiangyan did not dare to confront Gao Wuyo again, as the mastery and suppression over time, space, and many rules still caused him to tremble with insecurity. Too terrifying. But while he did not dare to confront Gao Wuyo, he could still betray information regarding Gao Wuyo and the opportunity of the Jade Immortal. Just as Wu Xiangyan planned to rest for a while before leaving the underground. Buzz, buzz, buzz. An invisible attack, following the omnipresent connection of causal rules, crossed countless distances before crashing down thunderously. No! The spirit will within the depths of the black life pool had no chance to react before all the black water turned into dust, and the spirit will within it was equally annihilated. Now it's completely resolved. Lin Yuan withdrew his hand. Upon realizing that Wu Xiangyan was still alive, he casually performed a causal curse killing. Lin Yuan's true realm is level 11 perfect, and Wu Xiangyan merely 8th layer. To kill a life at such a level, Lin Yuan did not even need to pay any price. Find a place to recover from injuries. Lin Yuan surveyed himself and silently disappeared from the spot. Although the poison of the demonic marrow had been cured, his gravely injured flesh still needed to recover. Deep within a mountain range, Lin Yuan sat cross-legged in a cavern. The environment of the immortal realm far surpasses that of the spirit realm. Lin Yuan finally had time to sense the atmosphere of the immortal realm. Even in this remote mountain range, he could still feel the rich immortal qi permeating the air. In such an environment, the hope of cultivation to the stage of transcendence was unfathomably more potent than in the spirit realm. The ancestor of the immortal path. Sir the novel Fire. Net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Lin Yuan looked up at the sky, feeling faintly with his level, like a colossal entity, resembling the sun overlooking all beings, illuminating life. All the cultivators within the boundless immortal cultivation system originated from that colossal entity. It truly is ultimate. Lin Yuan nodded slightly. At this moment, he was utterly certain that the ancestor of the immortal path, who spread the immortal cultivation system, was indeed an ultimate existence. Only, Lin Yuan furrowed his brow slightly. Within his perception, in addition to the ancestor of the immortal path shining over life like the brilliant sun, deep in the underground, there was also an unfathomable colossal entity. Its aura was completely opposite to that of the ancestor of the immortal path, filled with endless madness and destruction. Another ultimate existence? The ultimate from the depths of the demon abyss? Lin Yuan was aware of Gao Wei's memories and understood the existence of the demon abyss. That place was a confluence of all evil and madness, where countless demons crawled out of the demon abyss every moment, and then they were suppressed by the immortals from the 33 immortal domains. The ancestor of the immortal path and the ancestor of the demon abyss? That's rather interesting. Lin Yuan stroked his chin, vaguely speculating that this was a struggle between two ultimate existences, and it seemed that the ancestor of the immortal path had the upper hand. For now. At least in the immortal realm, the immortals generally were dominant against those demons. And whether it was the spirit realm or the central divine China world, the immortal cultivation system prevailed. But what about the demonic Tao cultivation system? Indeed, it existed but wasn't the main trend. This also reflected the outcome of the struggle between the two ultimate existences, somewhat invisibly. Next, Lin Yuan took out the soul judgment artifact carrying Wu Xianjian's memories and began to quickly browse through them. Compared with the original Gao Wuyo, Wu Xianjian's memories were much more heterogeneous, including not only cultivation but also many fragments of memories plundered from weaker cultivators. All in all, Wu Xiangyan was someone who would stoop to any means for cultivation. In fact, such people were not uncommon in the immortal realm, even quite frequent, and there were too many instances of brothers turning against each other for opportunities. He did accumulate quite a few cultivation resources. Lin Yuan sorted through Wu Xianjian's spoils of war, which were a considerable fortune for someone at the same transcendence tribulation stage level. But to Lin Yuan, they were quite unimpressive and hardly caught his eye. Let's take a look at the Jade Immortal opportunity. With a thought, Lin Yuan took out a piece of white, translucent jade. A mysterious aura lingered on the jade, an aura that surpassed that of a golden immortal, and it was the basis for Wu Xianjian's assertion that it was a Jade Immortal opportunity. Aside from the opportunities left by a Jade Immortal, no other opportunities would have such aura remaining. Jade Immortal? Lin Yuan's face showed interest. A Jade Immortal corresponded to a level 11 powerhouse in the main universe. Such an opportunity left by a being of this level, for Lin Yuan at his prime, was naturally not much. But now, Lin Yuan was practically starting all over again, and he was quite interested. Thinking of this, Lin Yuan separated out a wisp of consciousness to begin refining the jade. The jade was presumably a type of spatial immortal artifact, containing vast internal space. Before long, Lin Yuan completely refined the jade. These, Lin Yuan's consciousness entered the jade. Inside was an expansive world densely packed with countless resources, neatly stacked. Cloud crane grass, dark water immortal lotus, 10,000 souls fruit, 2 lives tree. Lin Yuan looked and saw many resources and spirit fruits that were extremely rare in Gao Wuyo and Wu Xianjian's memories, and even some that they had only heard about, piled up like small mountains. This was just what Gao Wuyo and Wu Xiangyan had heard about. Most of the resources were unheard of to them, but based on the energy aura radiating from these resources, Lin Yuan could tell they were valuable. Is this the Jade Immortal opportunity? It should be more accurately called the entire fortune of a Jade Immortal? Lin Yuan shook his head slightly. The resources within the Jade had far exceeded something as simple as an opportunity. Many Jade Immortals' entire fortunes probably couldn't compare. And the arrangement of these resources was very orderly, from low to high, as if specially prepared for someone later. Am I this lucky? Just as my consciousness awakens, I come across such a great benefit? Lin Yuan thought to himself that while these resources couldn't restore him to his prime, they should be enough to bring him back to the 10th rank summit. And there's a lot of immortal path skill inheritances? Lin Yuan's gaze turned to a corner of the world within the jade, where piles of jade slips were clearly recording various skills and inheritances. Lin Yuan continued to disperse his consciousness to explore each one. A complete immortal cultivation system would undoubtedly provide a good boost for Lin Yuan to open up the 11th layer chapter of the Martial Tao evolutionary path. Golden Immortal? Jade Immortal? Golden nature is indestructible, jade nature never falls, the body like gold, the soul like jade, perpetually unyielding. Lin Yuan quickly absorbed the immortal path skill inheritances recorded in these jades, which offered a completely different exposition on the essence of cultivation evolution compared to those level 11 evolutionary paths in the main universe. Just as Lin Yuan was browsing through each jade slip, among all the jade slips, one that was purple was quietly situated there. Soon, Lin Yuan's consciousness delved into this purple jade slip. Buzz! A massive consciousness within the jade slip awakened, swiftly spreading along Lin Yuan's consciousness, piercing through the soul barrier, and soon arriving outside the spirit world. Ha ha ha! The old ancestor has waited for millions of years, and now the time has finally come. This consciousness was extremely excited, spreading incessantly along Lin Yuan's consciousness, breaking through the soul barrier, and quickly approaching the exterior of the spirit world. Little fellow, obediently offer up your body. Rest assured, the old ancestor is a supreme jade immortal. To possess your body is the greatest honor. This massive consciousness that resurrected from the purple jade slip couldn't wait to enter the spirit world, intending to replace Lin Yuan's spiritual will and truly resurrect. With the old ancestor here, your body is destined to shake the 33 immortal domains. The resurrected consciousness from the purple jade slip swiftly entered the spirit world and was about to locate Lin Yuan's spiritual will when it suddenly stopped, and the spread of its consciousness halted abruptly. For before it was a towering figure seated cross-legged, an image that seemed to fill the heavens and earth, supreme and vast, strong and broad. Compared to this towering figure, the newly awakened consciousness from the purple jade slip was like a speck of dust. This, the resurrecting consciousness of the Jade Immortal, fell silent. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know, report, so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 896, The Conflict Between Immortals and Demons. Subscription request, Spirit World, boundless and vast. This is the region where the will of live spirit resides. It can be extremely small or immensely vast, depending on the strength of one's own spirit will. An ordinary mortal spirit world might be as cramped as a thatched hut. The stronger one's spirit will, the more vast their spirit world becomes. The consciousness of the Jade Immortal, bursting with exhilaration into Lin Yuan's spirit world, did not initially notice the boundless vista of the spirit world. All of his attention was captured by the towering, majestic figure sitting cross-legged at the center of the spirit world. Is this the spirit will? The consciousness of the Jade Immortal stood dumbfounded, staring blankly. As a once 11th layer Jade Immortal, even though his real body had perished, his memory and insight remained nearly intact, and the essence of his spirit will had not weakened much. But now, compared to the colossal entity in the distance, there was no comparison at all. The consciousness of the Jade Immortal had interacted with many Jade Immortals of the same level, and everyone's spirit will was on the same level. Even if there were differences, they would not be too significant. Being able to cultivate to a Jade Immortal? Generally, the spirit will isn't too weak. Am I seizing the ancestral master? The consciousness of the Jade Immortal couldn't help but raise such a thought. Such a terrifying spirit will couldn't possibly belong to a mere Jade Immortal. Only the ancestor of the immortal path, the supreme being across the 33 domains of the immortal realm, might possess a spirit will of this degree. Lin Yuan's spirit will opened his eyes, looking down on the minuscule consciousness of the Jade Immortal. Within the spirit world, one can only rely on the strength of their own spirit will, akin to the reflection of one's life essence within the river of time. Lin Yuan's spirit will index reached more than 33 million points, which was formidable even on the 12th layer ultimate plane. Naturally, it was not something an 11th layer Jade Immortal could compare to. In fact, when Lin Yuan touched that purple jade slip, he sensed an issue immediately as the consciousness of the Jade Immortal surged upward, spreading along the spirit he had extended. Lin Yuan could have stopped it then. But when he realized that this consciousness of the Jade Immortal targeted his spirit consciousness, more precisely his spirit will, Lin Yuan immediately decided not to stop it. The spirit world was Lin Yuan's home ground. With the strength of his spirit will, even if the spirit will of a 12th layer ancestral master descended, it would likely leave with nothing achieved. This consciousness of the Jade Immortal invading Lin Yuan's spirit world was like meat jumping onto the chopping block. Naturally, Lin Yuan would not refuse. After all, the consciousness came from a Jade Immortal, and Lin Yuan's current strength had not recovered much. Resolving this consciousness would still require some methods. Being in the immortal realm, Lin Yuan did not intend to expose his true spirit will, as it might be perceived by the ancestor of the immortal path. But if the other party fell into his own spirit world, that risk was no longer a concern. No, you're not the ancestral master. After a brief stupor, the consciousness of the Jade Immortal gradually came to its senses. It had once heard the ancestral master preach and could recognize the aura of the ancestor of the immortal path. The aura spread by Lin Yuan's spirit will was completely different from that of the ancestral master. And if Lin Yuan were really the ancestral master, would he allow him to enter his spirit world? With the mighty power controlled by the ancestral master, a single thought could obliterate him. However, before the consciousness of the Jade Immortal could ponder further, everything before its eyes began to plunge into darkness. It's good for someone not very familiar with the immortal realm. CTH Novel Fire. Net * website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. A smile appeared on Lin Yuan's face as he suppressed the Jade Immortal's consciousness with a casual flick, and began extracting and browsing through its memories. Although he had just assimilated the memories of his original identity Gao Wuyo and Wu Xiangyan. But in the end, both were merely transcendence tribulation stage cultivators, with not much understanding of the deeper and higher-level intelligence of the immortal realm. Yet this consciousness of the Jade Immortal might be different. An 11th layer Jade Immortal already counted as one of the top powerhouses in this part of the immortal realm. Examining the memories of this Jade Immortal's consciousness would be of great assistance to Lin Yuan. Several dozen breaths later, Lin Yuan had completely reviewed the memories of the Jade Immortal's consciousness. Immortal realm? Demon abyss? Lin Yuan looked thoughtful. In the memory of his original identity Gao Wuyo, there were many pieces of information about the demon abyss. The demons of the demon abyss were the existentially deadly enemies of all immortals. Any immortal encountering a demon must fight with all their might. And in the memories of the Jade Immortal consciousness, Lin Yuan gained even more specific knowledge about the demon abyss. The demon abyss, as the other face of the immortal realm, is the resting place of the ancestor of the demon abyss. The endless hordes of demons are but the manifestation of the demonic chi emitted by the resting ancestor of the demon abyss. The immortal realm and the demon abyss are constantly in conflict. Every few million to tens of millions of years, part of the consciousness of the ancestor of the demon abyss will awaken. At that time, the demons deep within the demon abyss will crazily invade the immortal realm, and numerous golden immortals and even jade immortals will pour all their efforts into fighting these demons. The consciousness of the jade immortal was named Yun Jinzi, who fell during the Great War between immortals and demons 9 million years ago. However, for powerhouses at the level of a jade immortal, survival and resurrection strategies had already been prepared during their lifetime. The reviving consciousness within the purple jade slip was one such method. Once touched, the consciousness inside would be activated and then seize the being that touched the jade slip. Yun Jinzi, wishing for an easier path of cultivation after his resurrection, had thoughtfully prepared many resources from low to high, just waiting to successfully possess a body and quickly regain his peak condition. Unfortunately, Yun Jinzi chose the wrong person. The most dreadful thing about demons is not their strength but their contamination. Lin Yuan's expression slightly hardened, realizing that even as a jade immortal, fighting a demon of similar level bore the risk of contamination. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 897: The Struggle Between Immortals and Demons. Subscribe please. _2 The contamination here refers to memory pollution, spiritual contamination. In fact, Yun Jinzi had prepared far more than just the method of resurrection such as the purple jade slip. He also created numerous life pools and life stones. The moment his true body fell, his consciousness would resurrect upon the life pools and life stones. However, the consciousness that resurrected in sync was all tainted with the contamination carried by the magical creatures. Only this purple jade slip, isolating the inside from the outside, blocking memories, severing cause and effect, and even unable to resurrect on its own, managing to barely avoid the pollution by relying on an external force to trigger it. Ancestor of the demon abyss? Lin Yuan thought to himself with his realm's perception. He had long sensed that 12th-layer existence deep in the demon abyss, but he didn't expect the other party to be so terrifying. The pollution of the demonic creatures probably poses no threat to me. Lin Yuan thought privately. The so-called pollution is not necessarily undefendable, but rather depends on whether one's own spiritual will is strong enough. Lin Yuan's mental consciousness is obviously strong enough. Let alone the pollution of demonic creatures, even the contamination from the ancestor of the demon abyss, Lin Yuan could easily withstand. Originally, I had planned to find a place to cultivate in seclusion, but now it seems there is no need for that. After sorting through Yun Jinzi's memories, Lin Yuan was quickly pondering. Yun Jinzi, as a jade immortal, had many properties and cave dwellings in the various immortal cities of the 33 celestial regions. The nearest Kangwu immortal city even has an grade fortification dwelling. An grade fortification dwelling, being the top-tier dwelling in Kangwu immortal city, is not only secure but also exhibits significant fluctuations of the laws, which greatly benefits law comprehension. Now Lin Yuan, holding the jade immortal consciousness of Yun Jinzi, is equivalent to Yun Jinzi himself. He could take over that grade fortification dwelling whenever he wishes. As for whether the grade fortification dwelling would be reclaimed after Yun Jinzi's fall, in fact, every cave dwelling in the immortal cities belongs to the immortal city. Even Yun Jinzi, the buyer, only had the right of ownership for 10 billion years. After 10 billion years, the dwelling would be reclaimed. As for Yun Jinzi's purchase of the grade dwelling, not even 20 million years had passed, far from the 10 billion year reclamation period. The major immortal cities of the 33 celestial regions are under the jurisdiction of the ancestral master. Their authority is unquestionable, and there will not be a case of early reclamation of dwellings. After all, beings capable of purchasing grade dwellings are at least top-tier golden immortals, and most of them are outright jade immortals. Reclaiming the dwellings of such powerful beings prematurely poses great risks. Other golden immortals and jade immortals are watching. If you reclaim a certain top-tier golden immortal's dwelling today, will my dwelling be reclaimed tomorrow? Kangwu Immortal City? Lin Yuan's gaze looked distantly in a certain direction. It was the location of Kangwu Immortal City, one of the 15 great immortal cities in the Shentian Immortal Domain, a place the original Gao Wuyo could only dream of living. Not only is Kangwu Immortal City safe, unlike being outside where one could encounter magical creatures at any time, but the cultivation environment is even more generous. Even if it's not a dwelling, just on the streets of Kangwu Immortal City, one would feel sufficiently rich fluctuations of the law. Unfortunately, unless one has a fixed dwelling in Kangwu Immortal City, one would incur a certain fee for each day spent there. 1 or 2 years might not matter, but as immortals, a single session of secluded cultivation could last thousands to tens of thousands of years, which makes Transcendence Tribulation Stage cultivators dare not reside in Kangwu Immortal City permanently. And to purchase a dwelling? That's an even more considerable expense. Even the lowest D-grade dwelling is far more than what a Transcendence Tribulation Stage cultivator can afford. Originally, Yun Jinzi had a hard time purchasing the grade dwelling in Kangwu Immortal City. Yun Zenzi's strength, even among Jade Immortals, was considered powerful. Had he not been besieged and killed by over a dozen magical creatures of the same layer, he would not have fallen. Even so, in the resurrection methods left by Yun Jinzi, he withstood the contamination from the magical creatures. A pity that he encountered an unreasonable existence like Lin Yuan, otherwise, he would have probably resurrected successfully by now. First, let's refine out the primordial spirit, then have the primordial spirit go to Kangwu Immortal City to see if it can take over that grade dwelling. Lin Yuan made up his mind. The benefits of an grade dwelling for comprehending the laws were deeply etched in Yun Zenzi's memory. Otherwise, he would not have spent a large sum of money to purchase it. And Lin Yuan's time in the immortal realm is limited, so he naturally wants to choose the best cultivation environment, so that he can leave more time to prepare for the ultimate challenge. Time passes by. In the blink of an eye, more than half a month had gone by. Taiyin and Taiyang emerge. Lin Yuan sat cross-legged, and 2 ethereal figures materialized from formlessness, slowly stepping out from within his body. It was Lin Yuan's Taiyin and Taiyang primordial spirit. During this time, Lin Yuan forcibly transformed the immortal path foundation of his original body into a martial Tao foundation, directly condensing 2 major primordial spirits. Once the 2 primordial spirits were formed, things became much more convenient for Lin Yuan, and he wouldn't have to take care of everything personally. Although with Lin Yuan's mental willpower, he could easily condense an incarnation. An incarnation is different from a primordial spirit avatar. It is easily discerned by others. You take Yun Zenzi's Jade Immortal Consciousness and head to Kangwu Immortal City. Lin Yuan looked at the Taiyang Divine Spirit and commanded. The reason for sending the Taiyang Divine Spirit to Kangwu Immortal City was to be cautious. After all, Yun Jinzi has perished nearly 10 million years ago. Who knows if the cave mansion left behind still exists, and even if it does, whether there would be any unforeseen incidents when taking over. Of course, the probability of such things happening is very small. The credibility of Immortal City is beyond doubt, and they face not only the Jade Immortal like Yun Jinzi. Always assuming the worst is never wrong. If the Taiyang Divine Spirit went to Kangwu Immortal City and an extreme situation occurred, Lin Yuan would only lose a primordial spirit. If everything goes smoothly, the Taiyang Divine Spirit would take over that Grade A cave mansion, and the significant fluctuations of the cave mansion's rules would also be perceived by the true body. Therefore, sending a primordial spirit to Kangwu Immortal City is the most cautious approach. It's nothing if it fails, but if it succeeds, a Grade A cave mansion that can accelerate cultivation will be obtained. Swoosh! Under Lin Yuan's gaze, the Taiyang Divine Spirit quietly disappeared into the distance. CTH Nafire. At website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Kangwu Immortal City is over there? In the high sky, Lin Yuan's Taiyang Divine Spirit continuously traversed the void towards Kangwu Immortal City. With Lin Yuan's understanding and perception of the space-time rule, what would take his true identity, Gao Wuyo, several years or even decades to reach, only took a few dozen breaths of time for the Kangwu Immortal body to appear within Lin Yuan's field of vision. Is that Kangwu Immortal City? Lin Yuan stopped traversing the void, looking at the endlessly grand immortal city from afar. This immortal city seemed like a vast world, with walls billions and trillions of miles high, filled with an ancient and mysterious aura that even a jade immortal would show sufficient awe when facing the immortal city. It is said that each of the 33 immortal domain cities was established by the ancestral master. Out of pity for all beings, he connected each immortal city with the primordial lands of the immortal realm. Hence, as long as one is in the immortal city, they can feel the intense fluctuations of the laws. Lin Yuan thought to himself, this is also why countless immortals yearn to live in the immortal city, as the benefits for cultivation are truly immense. Let's go in. Lin Yuan flew towards Kangwu Immortal City, quickly arriving outside the East Gate. Rules fluctuation. Lin Yuan smoothly entered Kangwu Immortal City and immediately felt a different set of rule fluctuations compared to the outside. These rule fluctuations are comparable to some of the cultivation sanctuary's secrets within the main universe. Some surprise flashed in Lin Yuan's heart. And this was only the outer city of Kangwu Immortal City. If it was the inner city or even the cave mansion area, the displayed fluctuations of a grade A cave mansion would only become more significant. However, the entire immortal city is enveloped in countless killing formations, which, once activated, not even Yun Jinzi at his peak could withstand. Lin Yuan also sensed the omnipresent flow of Kangwu Immortal City's infinite formations. Let's first head to the cave mansion area of the immortal city. Lin Yuan reigned in his thoughts and didn't dwell on it any longer. No matter how numerous the killing formations within the immortal city were, they posed no threat to him. It was just a primordial spirit after all, not carrying any resources or treasures. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 898 500 Years of History. Please subscribe. Kangwu Immortal City. Outside the cave mansion area, there is a palace situated. The palace is called Flying Immortal Hall, which is the place dedicated to the sale and purchase of cave dwellings in Kangwu Immortal City. Moreover, every million years, the owners of the cave dwellings must return to this palace to replace the jade token used for entering and exiting their cave dwellings. This is done to confirm the identity of the immortals residing in the cave dwellings. The cultivation environment within the immortal city's cave dwellings is extremely beneficial, so after many owners pass away, their cave-dwelling jade tokens often fall into the hands of others. With the jade token, those who are not the cave-dwelling owners can also enter and cultivate. The replacement of the jade token every million years is therefore meant to re-verify the identity of the current residents of the cave dwellings. Flying Immortal Hall is divided into 4 layers, occupying a vast area. At the entrance of the first layer, a large number of immortals in the Mahayana realm come and go. This level corresponds to the Ding-grade cave dwellings. Generally, immortals in the Mahayana realm can bite the bullet and purchase them. The entrance to the second layer of the palace sees very few immortals entering and exiting. This level corresponds to the Bing-grade cave dwellings. Basically, only a handful of immortals at the pinnacle of Mahayana, or simply golden immortals, have the capability to purchase them. And a golden immortal already able to dominate a region, even within the immortal city, holds a certain status. As for the entrances of the third and fourth layers, they are utterly silent. The third layer corresponds to the Jia-grade cave dwellings, which only relatively powerful golden immortals have the resources to purchase. And the fourth layer corresponds to the topmost A-grade cave dwellings. These are the cave dwellings with the highest regulations in Kangwu Immortal City, and only jade immortals have the foundation to purchase them. Even among the top-tier golden immortals, those who can become masters of such dwellings are fewer than the jade immortals. Lin Yuan glanced and headed straight to the fourth layer of Flying Immortal Hall. The fourth layer is spacious and vast, and as Lin Yuan enters, 2 charming immortal women came up to meet him. "Greetings, immortal monarch." The 2 immortal women spoke respectfully. Although the fourth layer of Flying Immortal Hall does not restrict entry or exit, those immortals who dare to come here certainly have enough confidence. "My cave-dwelling jade token is lost. I've come to apply for a replacement," Lin Yuan said in a calm tone. Of course, The jade token for entering and exiting the A-grade cave dwelling of Kangwu Immortal City had fallen into the hands of demons with Yun Zhenxi's death. However, the cave dwellings of each great immortal city are bound to the identity of the corresponding immortal, with Soul True Spirit Essence as the specific confirmation method. Even if the jade token is lost, it's still possible to obtain a replacement with the corresponding Soul True Spirit Essence. Please state your cave dwelling sequence. Immortal Monarch. The immortal woman was shocked, her attitude becoming even more respectful. Going to the 4th layer of Flying Immortal Hall to apply for a replacement token? Doesn't that mean the cave dwelling corresponding to the lost jade token is an A-grade dwelling? In other words, does this young immortal monarch in front of her not come to inquire about purchasing an A-grade cave dwelling, but already possesses one? CTH Novelfire, any *T website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Kangwu A365437. Lin Yuan directly stated the cave dwelling sequence. Even for Yun Zhenxi, this was one of the very few top-tier cave dwellings. Immortal Monarch. Please wait a moment. The immortal woman quickly checked within Flying Immortal Hall, where the detailed information of all cave dwellings is recorded. Immortal Monarch. Please infuse your Soul True Spirit Essence into this marrow stone. The immortal woman on the right took out a gray stone and respectfully said, "The gray stone, known as the marrow stone, is specially used for replicating and recording the essence of a soul's true spirit." When Yun Zhenxi purchased the A-grade cave dwelling, he imprinted his Soul True Spirit Essence within it. In order to apply for a replacement of the cave dwelling jade token, Lin Yuan must match the same Soul True Spirit Essence with the essence inside the marrow stone. Humming sounds echoed. With a thought from Lin Yuan, a wisp of Yun Zhenxi's jade immortal consciousness Soul True Spirit Essence merged into the marrow stone. After a while, the immortal woman holding the marrow stone spoke respectfully. "The conditions for reissuing are met. Please wait a moment, Immortal Monarch." After speaking, the immortal woman respectfully stepped back and returned shortly after. "This is your cave dwelling jade token." The immortal woman presented a white jade token, offering it to Lin Yuan with utmost respect. Lin Yuan nodded, took the jade token, and turned to leave the Flying Immortal Hall. After leaving the Flying Immortal Hall, Lin Yuan directly entered the cave mansion area. Kangwu Immortal City's cave mansion area is shrouded with many lethal formations. Any immortal who does not meet the criteria and dares to break in will be slain by the killing formations immediately. Lin Yuan, holding the cave-dwelling jade token, naturally has the qualifications to enter the cave mansion area. Flying Immortal Hall. A mysterious space on a certain floor. A middle-aged man is meditating with his eyes closed. He is the hall master of the Flying Immortal Hall, one of the giants of Kangwu Immortal City. The middle-aged man seemed to sense something. His eyes swiftly opened. Kangwu 365437's cave-dwelling jade token has been successfully reissued? Hall Master. A figure materialized beside him, nodding and speaking. Just now, someone has entered this Grade A cave mansion. Every Grade A cave mansion in Kangwu Immortal City was well known and had a specific owner, either belonging to a Jade Immortal or those top-tier Golden Immortals with great hopes of stepping into the Jade Immortal realm. If my memory serves me right, this Grade A cave mansion has been silent for nearly 10 million years? The Hall Master of the Flying Immortal Hall showed a contemplative expression on his face. The owner of this Grade A cave mansion was Yun Zhenxi. As the Hall Master of the Flying Immortal Hall, he had the privilege to check the information of each mansion. Yun Zhenxi? Rumored to have perished in the last great war between immortals and demons, who would have thought he was still alive. Hearing this, the figure beside him could not help but exclaim in astonishment. Among the many Jade Immortals, Yun Zhenxi had a significant reputation. If not for the besieging by more than a dozen demonic creatures, with Yun Zhenxi's strength, even if he could not win, he would have been able to retreat with his whole body. It seems that the corruption from those demonic creatures in the demon abyss did not lead to Yun Zhenxi's complete demise. The Hall Master of the Flying Immortal Hall nodded slightly. He quickly inferred what had happened. Almost 10 million years ago, Yun Zhenxi's true body perished at the hands of numerous demonic creatures, and the subsequent corruption had erased most of his means for revival. Yet, with Yun Zhenxi's capabilities, there remained one or two deeply hidden revival techniques that resisted the corruption. After nearly 10 million years, these one or two revival techniques met the conditions for revival, enabling Yun Zhenxi's successful return. Such incidents were not uncommon among the many Jade Immortals. How could one who has cultivated to the level of a Jade Immortal die so easily? They all had multiple backup plans. The Hall Master of the Flying Immortal Hall had no particular thoughts about those Jade Immortals returning from revival, nor would he do anything about it. As a giant of the Immortal City, the Hall Master's status towered above the vast majority of Jade Immortals, and naturally, he paid no heed to Yun Zhenxi's wealth. Yun Zhenxi's survival is also a good thing, as the great war between immortals and demons will soon begin anew, with a clear increase in the number of demonic lords recently. If Yun Zhenxi can recover all his strength before the war, he could indeed alleviate some pressure from the Immortal City. The Hall Master of the Flying Immortal Hall murmured softly to himself. The great war between immortals and demons was undoubtedly the cruelest battle in the immortal realm. For most immortals, it was no different from a slaughterhouse. Jade Immortals still possessed the capability for revival. But those golden immortals and even lower ranks could hardly withstand the corruption from demonic creatures. Once dead, they were truly dead. The revival techniques of golden immortals seldom could resist the corruption of demons. Every great war caused the fall of innumerable immortals, and many Jade Immortals would disappear as a result. Assuming Yun Zhenxi's identity to take over the Grade A cave mansion is unlikely to fool the upper echelons of the Immortal City. Lin Yuan knew all the memories of Yun Zhenxi and was aware that the information about the owner of the mansion wasn't a secret to the higher-ups of the Kangwu Immortal City. But what of it? I am Yun Zhenxi now. Lin Yuan remained unconcerned, grasping Yun Zhenxi's fragment of the Jade Immortal Consciousness, virtually holding Yun Zhenxi hostage. Who could question his identity, given his insight into all the latter's memories? Yun Zhenxi, being a Jade Immortal, could hardly be suppressed by a peer-level Jade Immortal, even in his weakened state. Those capable of suppressing Yun Zhenxi to the level of a Jade Immortal would not deign to impersonate Yun Zhenxi. With Lin Yuan's current methods, unless the Ancestral Master intervened, outsiders would not be able to see through him. And the Ancestral Master? Such a lofty existence, so high above, how could they possibly care about the affairs of a Jade Immortal? Even if the Ancestral Master truly paid attention, Lin Yuan would simply discard this Taiyang Divine Spirit body without much loss. Using the cave-dwelling Jade token, Lin Yuan quickly entered the Grade A cave mansion. This was a vast expanse of land, nearly 1,000,000 miles in size, filled with immortal chi so dense it was nearly tangible. Ordinary mortals living in such an environment would, even without practice, eventually transform their fleshly bodies into those of immortals over time. Lin Yuan was not particularly interested in the swirling immortal chi. The so-called immortal chi was but one form of energy, and after obtaining the numerous resources prepared by Yun Zhenxi, Lin Yuan did not lack energy input for the short term. Thunderous rumbles. Lin Yuan appeared in the center of the mansion, looking up at the sky. There, a giant irregular fissure vaguely existed, where intense rule fluctuations visible to the naked eye emanated from the fissure. This crack must be the connection to the origin of the immortal realm, opened by the Ancestral Master. Lin Yuan's thoughts ebbed and flowed, recognizing that even at his peak, he could not tear apart this fissure. The primordial lands of the main universe were unreachable even for a 12th-layer ultimate being, because the main universe was too powerful, and a 12th-layer ultimate being could not approach the primordial lands. And the immortal realm? Although it was close to the main universe, it was only close. A 12th-layer ultimate being exerting full force could still forcibly create a passage from the primordial lands to the outside world. Among the many mansions within Kangwu Immortal City, only a Grade A mansion could directly face the irregular fissure and experience the fluctuation of the rules from the origin power at close range. As for the Grade B and Grade C mansions, they could only indirectly sense the rule fluctuations emanating from the irregular fissure. The cultivation environment here is better than in the main universe, at least when it comes to the clarity and visibility of understanding the rules. Lin Yuan's spirit was slightly stirred. Although the immortal realm could not match the main universe, in this moment it opened almost completely to Lin Yuan, and in terms of understanding rules, the main universe naturally could not compare to the immortal realm. Given such an environment, I cannot guarantee mastery of the chaos rule, but the seventh realm of space and time? The time it takes to comprehend it should be much shorter than in the main universe. Lin Yuan was very confident. Let's start cultivating now. Lin Yuan sat down cross-legged without delay, beginning to sense the rule fluctuations revealed from the irregular fissure above the sky. Time for cultivation flowed like water, and before he knew it, 500 years had passed. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 899 Widespread Fame. Please subscribe. Deep and constantly exuding gray misty airflows. An irregular crack silently spans across the sky. Even after observing and comprehending for 500 years, Lin Yuan was still somewhat obsessed. The rule fluctuations that manifested from the depths of the crack were extremely obscure, yet they allowed him to constantly gain insights. 500 years have passed. I've devoted half of my energy to comprehending the spatiotemporal fusion rule, and now I have finally reached the pinnacle of the sixth realm. Lin Yuan felt emotional. Without this great cave dwelling, it would have taken me 5 to 10 times longer to reach the pinnacle of the sixth realm. Before his 11th traversal, Lin Yuan's comprehension of time and space was at the mid-stage of the sixth realm, followed by the late stage of the sixth realm and the pinnacle of the sixth realm. Lin Yuan was confident that within 2 to 5,000 years, reaching the pinnacle of the sixth realm was unprecedented. Those at the 12th layer in the main universe spent billions of years and still found it difficult to advance further in the spatiotemporal fusion rule, even from the mid to the late stage. And this was based on the premise that they existed at the edge of the river of time, at the essence of life. Lin Yuan was fundamentally an 11th tier being. Without against heaven's understanding, he probably couldn't even step through the doors of the sixth realm. But now, having spent only 500 years, he completed the journey that could take 2 to 5,000 years in the main universe, which uplifted Lin Yuan's spirits. This time through the traversal, Lin Yuan had only a little over 2,000 years of stay. It would be somewhat wasteful if he could only elevate his understanding of space-time to the pinnacle of the sixth realm. The seventh realm of time and space. Lin Yuan fell into contemplation. After reaching the pinnacle of the sixth realm, the only path before him was the seventh realm. According to the information left by the Shenhuang and the Moyu Tower Master, understanding the seventh realm of space and time required at least the pinnacle of path opening stage. Here it says, at least, many who are at the pinnacle of the path opening stage still remain at the pinnacle of the sixth realm in their comprehension of the spatiotemporal fusion rule. If I can reach the seventh realm in the field of spatiotemporal fusion rule, I can completely surpass those 12th tier ultimates of the main universe. Even if I am still at the 11th tier, I can easily protect myself. Lin Yuan thought to himself. Search * the novel F. Ire. At website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Just like in the Shenhuang secret realm, which itself is not of a high level, those strongest 11th tier figures wielding clan suppression weapons can easily break through the secret realm if they are within it. But the Shenhuang secret realm, merged into the deepest part of spacetime of the main universe, the power of 12th tier ultimates can easily destroy the Shenhuang secret realm, but unfortunately they cannot lock onto its exact location. Unable to find the coordinates of the Shenhuang secret realm, strong as the 12th tier ultimates are, they can do nothing unless they possess the power to destroy the entire universe. Otherwise, they can only watch helplessly as the Shenhuang secret realm opens and closes repeatedly. If Lin Yuan could comprehend the seventh realm of time and space, it would be the same. Perhaps in absolute power, he is still far inferior to those 12th tier ultimates. But with the comprehension of the seventh realm of spacetime, Lin Yuan can easily make it so that those 12th tier ultimates cannot find his true form. I can feel that, to step from the pinnacle of the sixth realm into the seventh realm, I need to overcome many bottlenecks and shackles. Lin Yuan looked thoughtful. There is still 1,500 years of residence time. There's no need to rush. Lin Yuan collected his thoughts. Unfortunately, so far, there is still no direction in the chaos rule. Over the past 500 years, Lin Yuan devoted the other half of his spirit and energy to other aspects, such as perfecting the 11th tier of martial Tao, understanding many pillar-level fusion rules, exploring the chaos rule, and so on. The origin of the immortal realm. Lin Yuan looked again at the irregular crack above the sky. But this time Lin Yuan observed not just the rule fluctuations emanating from it, but the irregular crack itself. The irregular crack is connected to the origin of the immortal realm, hence the significant rule fluctuations manifested. Other Jade Immortals, when contemplating the irregular crack, will only feel the oppressive force of heaven and earth leaking from inside, daring not to harbor other thoughts, nor being able to. The origin of the immortal realm, even forcefully penetrated by the ancestor of the immortal path to establish a channel, the contemplating Jade Immortals cannot deeply feel anything. But Lin Yuan is different. With his understanding of the spatio-temporal fusion rule reaching the pinnacle of the sixth realm, Lin Yuan's gaze has vaguely transcended the irregular crack, peering towards the vast primordial lands at the deepest part of the immortal realm. Just by contemplating the rule fluctuations emanating from the origin land, it has greatly benefited my understanding of the rules. If I could directly enter the origin land to cultivate and comprehend, then Lin Yuan was suddenly moved. Any world's origin land is the absolute core, where one can observe the most fundamental aspects of a world. The level of the immortal realm barely coincides with the main universe. If he could observe the most fundamental aspects of the immortal realm, it would definitely bring unimaginable benefits to the understanding of many rules. But the origin land of the immortal realm has long been occupied by the ancestor of the immortal path. Lin Yuan looked far and deep, sensing the presence of the ancestor of the immortal path right in the origin land. The ancestor of the immortal path being able to establish a channel to the outside world naturally means he can enter the origin land. Given the rich cultivation environment of the origin land, the ancestor of the immortal path, if not a fool, would definitely reside there permanently. Lin Yuan's current strength could forcibly enter the origin land, but would definitely be detected by the ancestor of the immortal path. In that case, Lin Yuan would be exposed under the gaze of the ancestor of the immortal path. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know, report, so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 900 Widespread Fame, please subscribe, _2 After 500 years, Lin Yuan had greatly improved in all aspects of strength, but was still unable to contend with a 12th layer ultimate being. Especially given that the body he had upon arriving in the immortal realm paled in comparison to the one meticulously crafted in the main universe. As long as I can comprehend the 7th realm of time and space, even under the watchful eye of the ancestral master, I won't be discovered, let alone when entering the primordial lands? Lin Yuan thought to himself. The 7th realm of time and space would at the very least ensure that Lin Yuan remains undefeated in the path-splitting realm. The power of the ancestor of the immortal path is indeed of 12th layer ultimate, but definitely would not exceed the scope of the path-splitting realm. Martial Tao's first tier chapter is mostly perfected. Words appeared before Lin Yuan, precisely the details of Martial Tao's first tier chapter. Perfecting Martial Tao's first tier chapter is not only about helping Lin Yuan establish an evolution pathway for Martial Tao to spread externally, but is also a repeated review and affirmation of his own path. Only with a thorough understanding and mastery of oneself can one continue to advance. With a solid foundation, the future is boundlessly promising. Now, I can send out avatars to spread the evolution pathway of Martial Tao on a small scale. Lin Yuan thought to himself. The vast and boundless immortal realm, with countless living beings, is not a place Lin Yuan would neglect as a ground for propagation. As for whether he would be detected by the ancestor of the immortal path, Lin Yuan is only spreading on a small scale. In fact, in the vast immortal realm, there are also other cultivation systems besides the immortal cultivation system, but they are far from being comparable to the mainstream immortal path. As long as the evolution pathway of Martial Tao doesn't appear too distinctive and eye-catching, let alone attracting the attention of the ancestral master. Even the Jade Immortals wouldn't pay heed. After a moment of contemplation, Lin Yuan left an avatar to continue comprehending the irregular fissures that connect to the primordial lands, while his true form disappeared on the spot. The Grade A cave dwelling, as the top cultivation dwelling in Kangwu Immortal City, is divided into many areas, and the place Lin Yuan usually secludes himself to comprehend the irregular fissures is merely his cultivation area. Apart from the cultivation area, there are many other zones, such as the visitor area, rest area, and so on. Lin Yuan's form appeared out of thin air on the Grand Hall's throne. Master! A figure below immediately bowed deeply with utmost respect towards Lin Yuan. This figure was none other than Yun Jinzi, the consciousness within the purple jade slip that the original Gao Wuyo acquired as a chance of becoming a jade immortal. Yun Jinzi perished in a great war between immortals and demons nearly 10 million years ago, leaving behind a method for resurrection, which was activated when Lin Yuan inspected the jade slip, with the intention of seizing Lin Yuan's body. The outcome was obviously clear. Yun Jinzi was easily suppressed by Lin Yuan, who then borrowed his identity to take over this Grade A cave dwelling. As Lin Yuan needed to constantly maintain the identity of Yun Jinzi, he did not eradicate Yun Jinzi's consciousness completely. Instead, it was repurposed, helping Yun Jinzi reconstruct his body and serving him. Yun Jinzi was originally an experienced jade immortal. With Lin Yuan holding his life in his hands, the only way he could continue to live was to obey Lin Yuan's commands without question. Over the past 500 years, Lin Yuan spent most of his time in seclusion. During this period, all other trivial matters were handled by Yun Jinzi. For example, purchasing various cultivation resources. The resources Yun Jinzi prepared for his own cultivation had been exhausted by Lin Yuan more than 400 years ago. To continue obtaining resources for cultivation, one must trade and purchase from the outside world, which of course Lin Yuan was too lazy to do, all being handled by Yun Jinzi. What has happened during this time? Lin Yuan asked casually. Among the many tasks assigned to Yun Jinzi was to keep track of significant events that occurred in the immortal realm. Master, Yun Jinzi immediately reported the numerous pieces of intelligence he had gathered. The manifestations of the demon abyss have become more frequent. It seems a new war between immortals and demons is about to begin. Lin Yuan thought to himself. Every few million or tens of millions of years, the consciousness of the ancestor of the demon abyss would partially awaken, causing the demons deep within the demon abyss to stir restlessly, invading the immortal realm indiscriminately. This was the origin of the great wars between immortals and demons. That must be it. Kangwu Immortal City and other immortal cities, as well as some powers, are all making preparations for the war between immortals and demons, Yun Jinzi said in a low voice. He himself had fallen in the last great war between immortals and demons, and thus paid great attention to such wars that affected the entire immortal realm. With each war between immortals and demons, countless immortals perished, and even jade immortals are not spared. If someone as powerful as Yun Jinzi could fall, it goes without saying for those ordinary jade immortals. Master, a few days ago, representatives from the Nine Dragons Commerce Association requested to see you, hoping that you could refine a batch of 9 Revolutions golden pills for them, said Yun Jinzi. 9 Revolutions golden pills. Lin Yuan stroked his chin. The 9 Revolutions golden pill is a peerless, life-saving immortal pill. For those at the golden immortal level, no matter the injury, as long as the true spirit still exists, consuming 1 9 Revolutions golden pill can lead to instantaneous healing. Even jade immortals, upon consuming a 9 Revolutions golden pill, can heal most injuries. For any force, the 9 Revolutions golden pill is a strategic immortal pill, especially on the eve of the looming immortal demon war. It is of paramount importance. After 500 years of secluded cultivation, Lin Yuan consumed an untold number of cultivation resources. And where did these cultivation resources come from? Looting? The amount of cultivation resources Lin Yuan needed was enormous. Relying on looting? Once or twice might not pose a problem. But if done frequently, it would inevitably induce panic among all the jade immortals and consequently attract the attention of the ancestor of the immortal path. Before possessing the strength to fearlessly face obstructions, Lin Yuan wouldn't engage in such high-profile activities. Therefore, the way to obtain resources was through trading with other Jade Immortals or forces. Within the immortal realm, immortal pills are undoubtedly the hard currency. From the common folks to the Jade Immortals, whether for cultivation or other uses, all are inseparable from immortal pills. Furthermore, since Yun Jinzi himself was quite skilled in the alchemy technique, Lin Yuan dedicated time to learn the art of alchemy. Xia the Nafire. At website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. The essence of the alchemy technique is the control over various subtle medicinal forces, and with Lin Yuan's mind and will reaching into the 12th layer, he was virtually a born alchemy master. Additionally, with his against heaven's understanding, after merely studying for a few days, Lin Yuan's alchemy prowess had already surpassed Yun Jinzi, the alchemy master. Therefore, when not cultivating, Lin Yuan had Yun Jinzi sell some of the immortal pills he had refined. With Lin Yuan's mental control over subtle medicinal forces, both the quality and success rate of the pills were incredibly high. It was by continuously refining and selling immortal pills that Lin Yuan supported his tremendous consumption of resources over 500 years of cultivation. For Lin Yuan, refining a rare immortal pill could almost result in a profit tens or hundreds of times the cost. This was far more efficient than looting or plundering, and there was no risk at all. Over the centuries, most of Lin Yuan's immortal pills were sold covertly. Only a few dozen times were they sold openly, and even so, they built Lin Yuan's reputation as an alchemy master. Refine a batch of 9 revolutions golden pills? How much is the 9 Dragons Commerce Association willing to pay? Lin Yuan asked with interest. As a strategic pill with high difficulty in refinement and several exceedingly rare main ingredients required, none of that is Lin Yuan's concern. Since the 9 Dragons Commerce Association planned to have Lin Yuan refine a batch of 9 Revolutions immortal pills, they would have surely prepared the materials. As for the difficulty of refinement, it was trivial for Lin Yuan. What mattered was whether the 9 Dragons Commerce Association could afford the price. The Jade Immortal from the 9 Dragons Commerce Association wishes to discuss the compensation with the Master personally, said Yun Jinzi immediately. The 9 Dragons Commerce Association, being a Jade Immortal level force with 9 Jade Immortals of the Dragon Clan at its helm, is quite famous across the 33 immortal domains. All right, let him come to see me. Lin Yuan nodded and said, yes. Yun Jinzi immediately began to arrange a meeting with the Jade Immortal from the 9 Dragons Commerce Association. In no time at all, an imposing man wearing a golden scale robe and with blue horns on his forehead appeared outside the cave dwelling. Greetings to Master Yun Jinzi, said the Jade Immortal from the 9 Dragons Commerce Association, quite politely, although in recent centuries, Lin Yuan's public sales of immortal pills have been few and far between. However, every single pill sold has been of high quality, and the outside world believes that Yun Jinzi has the ability to refine 9 Revolutions golden pills. Azure Dragon Sect Master, Lin Yuan said. The 9 Dragons Commerce Association has 9 Dragon Clan Jade Immortal Sect Masters, and the one standing before him is the Azure Dragon Sect Master. Among the 9 Jade Immortal Sect Masters, Azure Dragon Sect Master's strength could rank within the top 3, and his actions externally are extremely domineering. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 901 Trading. Please subscribe. The Sect Master wants me to refine a batch of 9 Revolutions golden pills. What remuneration does he plan to offer? Lin Yuan asked directly, without beating around the bush. The Azure Dragon Sect Master is surprised that Master Yun Jinzi is not asking first about the specific number of 9 Revolutions golden pills to be refined. The Azure Dragon Sect Master slightly startled. I prefer to ask about the remuneration first. That way I am motivated to refine the medicine. Lin Yuan said with a smile. In fact, as long as the Azure Dragon Sect Master could gather the materials for the 9 Revolutions golden pills, Lin Yuan could refine any number of them. That's the case, our association intends to hire Master Yun Jinzi to refine 29 Revolutions golden pills, As for the remuneration, how about 1 million top-grade immortal crystals? The Azure Dragon Sect Master pondered for a moment before speaking. 1 million top-grade immortal crystals was a colossal amount, equivalent to 10 times the wealth of an ordinary jade immortal. 500 years ago, Lin Yuan obtained the many resources prepared by Yun Jinzi for his revival, which together amounted to at most 100,000 top-grade immortal crystals. 1 million top-grade immortal crystals? Lin Yuan took an extra look at the Azure Dragon Sect Master. It seems the Sect Master doesn't have much sincerity. If this were tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of years ago, refining 29 revolutions golden pills for a remuneration of 1 million top-grade immortal crystals would indeed be a fair price. But now, the Celestial Demon War was about to start, and the value of various resources such as immortal pills was skyrocketing, especially strategic immortal pills like the 9 revolutions golden pill. How much does Master Yun Zhenzi intend to ask for? The Azure Dragon Sect Master asked. 10 million top-grade immortal crystals. Lin Yuan said outright. 10 million. The Azure Dragon Sect Master's expression soured. The 9 Dragons Commerce Association was big and wealthy enough to afford 10 million top-grade immortal crystals, but for the remuneration for refining 9 revolutions golden pills? Or, the 9 Dragons Commerce Association could give me a piece of celestial source, which could also offset the remuneration for this batch of 9 revolutions golden pills. Lin Yuan suddenly said. Celestial source, coming from the origin of the immortal realm, was said to be greatly beneficial for the comprehension of laws. However, only the ancestor of the immortal path and disciples under the ancestral master were allowed into the primordial lands, and celestial source was extremely scarce outside of those lands. For the past 500 years, whether overtly or covertly, Lin Yuan had not obtained even a single piece of celestial source. This was a good opportunity while helping the 9 Dragons Commerce Association refine the 9 Revolutions Immortal Pill to see if he could secure a piece. The 9 Dragons Commerce Association had significant influence in the 33 immortal domains. They should possess the means to acquire celestial source. A piece of celestial source? The Azure Dragon Sect Master said. Master Yun Jinzi should be aware of the value of celestial source. It is too scarce, impossible to measure with immortal crystals. The 9 revolutions golden pills I refine should be worth a piece of celestial source. Lin Yuan spoke up. I can't give celestial source, said the Azure Dragon Sect Master as he stood up. It seems we cannot cooperate with Master Yun Zhenzi. The 9 Dragons Commerce Association could offer celestial source, but the Azure Dragon Sect Master did not think the remuneration for Yun Zhenzi's batch of 9 revolutions golden pills was worth it. It doesn't matter. We may cooperate in the future. Lin Yuan watched the Azure Dragon Sect Master leave. In another cave mansion in Kangwu Immortal City, the figure of the Azure Dragon Sect Master appeared. How is it? How did the negotiation with Master Yun Jinzi go? A white-haired elder beside him asked. He was also a Jade Immortal, the one who introduced Yun Jinzi to the Azure Dragon Sect Master. It didn't work out. The Azure Dragon Sect Master frowned. That Yun Jinzi asked for 10 million immortal crystals, or a piece of celestial source. 10 million immortal crystals? The white-haired elder considered. It's indeed a bit high, but given the current situation you also understand, the Celestial Demon War is approaching. It's normal for the remuneration for refining such immortal pills as 9 revolutions golden pills to increase. But 10 million immortal crystals is still too high. With those, I can completely hire those top-tier alchemy masters. The last time before the Celestial Demon War, Yun Zhenzi's alchemy abilities were just SOSO. The Azure Dragon Sect Master said. In recent hundreds of years, he indeed refined a batch of fairly good quality immortal pills, but that's a recent thing. How can he compare with those top-tier alchemy masters? The medicinal pills refined by alchemy masters involve randomness, more a matter of luck and state. Perhaps he's in good form now, hence the quality of the immortal pills is also good, whereas those top-tier alchemy masters can maintain such form consistently. In the Azure Dragon Sect Master's view, Yun Jinzi is merely in good form recently. It's uncertain if he would be able to even form pills when refining 9 revolutions golden pills if his state worsens. If an alchemy master fails in alchemy, they need not take on the loss of materials, meaning the Nine Dragons Commerce Association would swallow the loss themselves. Under such circumstances, the Azure Dragon sect master naturally was not willing to commit too much on Yun Jinzi. I originally thought this Yun Jinzi, being new to alchemy mastery, would be more humble, but turns out he's quite greedy too, the Azure Dragon sect master said with an icy gaze. These alchemy masters, taking advantage of the impending celestial demon war, are arbitrarily raising their remuneration. They all deserve to die. A strange feeling arose in the heart of the white-haired elder beside him. Wasn't the Nine Dragons Commerce Association doing the same thing? Eagerly earning war wealth as the celestial demon war approached? The Azure Dragon sect master not agreeing to the conditions did not bother Lin Yuan too much. As his reputation as an alchemy master spread, there were often forces or powerful jade immortals requesting him to refine immortal pills. He did not care much about cooperation with the Nine Dragons Commerce Association. It seems celestial source is really hard to come by. Lin Yuan sighed. From the attitude of the Azure Dragon sect master, Lin Yuan could tell that the value of a piece of celestial source was far above 10 million immortal crystals. At least faced with a remuneration of 10 million immortal crystals, the Azure Dragon sect master showed contemplation, but celestial source? Lin Yuan saw that the other party never even considered it. Could it be that obtaining celestial source can only be done through plunder? Lin Yuan thought to himself. Unless absolutely necessary, Lin Yuan did not wish to do so. It would create too much noise. Currently, Lin Yuan had yet to grow to the strength where he could be invincible in the immortal realm, preferring to remain low profile. Just as Lin Yuan was pondering, his expression shifted ever so slightly. Master! Yun Jinzi appeared. The Hall Master of Flying Immortal Hall is looking for you. Flying Immortal Hall is an important part of Kangwu Immortal City, responsible for the Cave Mansion area, and its Hall Master is one of the magnates of the Immortal City, second only to the few people in high position below the City Lord. What's more important is that compared to a Jade Immortal level power like the Nine Dragons Commerce Association, Flying Immortal Hall is under the jurisdiction of Kangwu Immortal City, which was founded by the ancestor of the Immortal Path. The power behind the Nine Dragons Commerce Association is the Nine Dragon Clan Jade Immortals, while the power behind Kangwu Immortal City is the ancestor of the Immortal Path. Swoosh! Quickly, the Hall Master of Flying Immortal Hall appeared before Lin Yuan. Master Yun Jinzi. The Hall Master of Flying Immortal Hall smiled as he looked at Lin Yuan. Hall Master. Lin Yuan nodded. His attitude toward the Hall Master of Flying Immortal Hall was somewhat better than toward the Azure Dragon Sect Master of Nine Dragons Commerce Association. After all, the Hall Master of Flying Immortal Hall is a magnate of Kangwu Immortal City, where Lin Yuan is now residing. He has to show some courtesy. Did you come to an agreement with the Azure Dragon Sect Master recently about cooperation? The Hall Master of Flying Immortal Hall asked. Before visiting Lin Yuan, the Azure Dragon Sect Master had made numerous inquiries about Master Yun Zenzi's information. The Hall Master of Flying Immortal Hall was also aware of it. No agreement was reached. Lin Yuan shook his head. Ha 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 ha, the Azure Dragon Sect Master is a bossy person. I suppose he's unwilling to suffer a loss. The Hall Master of Flying Immortal Hall chuckled. It's probably because he didn't look favorably upon me. Lin Yuan said. Given Master Yun Zenzi's alchemy accomplishments, I can only say that the Azure Dragon Sect Master is short-sighted. The Hall Master of Flying Immortal Hall smiled. The Hall Master of Flying Immortal Hall pondered for a moment, then continued, since Master Yun Jinzi didn't reach an agreement with the Azure Dragon Sect Master, why not cooperate with us at Kangwu Immortal City instead? Cooperate with you? Lin Yuan glanced at the Hall Master of Flying Immortal Hall, unsurprised. Ia the Novel Fire. Net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Given the status of the Hall Master of Flying Immortal Hall, coming here specially to visit him surely meant needing something. What do you need me to refine? Lin Yuan asked. Like the Azure Dragon Sect Master, it's a batch of 9 Revolutions golden pills. The Hall Master of Flying Immortal Hall said. As a strategic immortal pill, not only is it incredibly important to the Nine Dragons Commerce Association, but also to Kangwu Immortal City as well. With the imminent war between immortals and demons approaching, Kangwu Immortal City is under tremendous pressure. At this moment, one more 9 Revolutions Golden Pill could potentially restore a Jade Immortal's full combat capabilities. How many 9 Revolutions Golden Pills? Lin Yuan asked. For now, we temporarily need 50 pills. The Hall Master of Flying Immortal Hall stated. 50 pills? Lin Yuan pondered. What kind of compensation does the Hall Master intend to offer? The Azure Dragon Sect Master told me that Master Yun Jinzi needs Immortal Source. Therefore, for 59 Revolutions Golden Pills, I'm willing to offer 3 portions of Immortal Source as compensation. 3 portions of Immortal Source? Lin Yuan was mildly surprised. The value of Immortal Source, as evident from the attitude of the Azure Dragon Sect Master, could be inferred. The Azure Dragon Sect Master never even considered trading Immortal Source with Lin Yuan. Even if their cooperation could go through, it would definitely be compensated with tens of millions of Immortal Crystals. Immortal Crystals can be earned, but Immortal Source is not always obtainable. Is the Hall Master of Flying Immortal Hall actively offering Immortal Source as compensation? Lin Yuan didn't believe that the Hall Master couldn't come up with tens of millions of top-grade Immortal Crystals. I am very confident in Master Yun Zenzi's alchemy mastery, and our future cooperation will be plentiful. I just hope that Master will not refuse us in the future. The Hall Master of Flying Immortal Hall spoke. Hearing these words, Lin Yuan immediately understood the Hall Master's intentions. The offering of 3 portions of Immortal Source wasn't just for this cooperation, but for potential future cooperation as well. Does the Hall Master hold me in such high regard? Lin Yuan said with a smile. I simply trust Master Yun Jinzi. The Hall Master of Flying Immortal Hall stated. If the Master agrees, I will apply for the Immortal Source. At most, it will be delivered in half a month. No problem. Lin Yuan nodded. With the Immortal Source being voluntarily offered, Lin Yuan naturally wouldn't refuse. Somewhere within a mysterious space in Flying Immortal Hall, the Hall Master's form appeared, immediately beginning the application for the transfer of Immortal Source. Hall Master, you're using 3 portions of Immortal Source just for the compensation of Master Yun Jinzi to refine 59 Revolutions Golden Pills? A shadowy figure emerged beside him, incredulously asking. Immortal Source is incredibly precious, and 3 portions of Immortal Source are almost impossible to buy even with 100 million top-grade Immortal Crystals, mainly because there are no channels to purchase Immortal Source. Even with the impending war of immortals and demons, using 3 portions of Immortal Source to refine 59 Revolutions Golden Pills was inconceivable. Even those top-tier alchemy masters would not dare ask for this price. Do you think Master Yun Jinzi is just an ordinary alchemy master? The Hall Master of Flying Immortal Hall glanced at the shadow. Ah! The shadow expressed shock. If he's not an ordinary alchemy master, then what kind of alchemy master is he? You don't understand. The Hall Master of Flying Immortal Hall shook his head. Using 3 portions of Immortal Source to secure Master Yun Zenzi's future collaborations with our Kangwu Immortal City is in no way a losing deal. Forget it. You may leave. The Hall Master of Flying Immortal Hall said no more. Yes. With a heart full of questions, the shadow could only retreat. The Hall Master of Flying Immortal Hall sat alone, thinking. In the past 400 or 500 years, the quantity of high-quality immortal pills in Kangwu Immortal City has greatly increased. Even the top-tier alchemy masters would find it impossible to continuously refine so many high-quality immortal pills. And Yun Jinzi moved into the city's cave mansion 500 years ago. The Hall Master of Flying Immortal Hall's gaze was profound. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Report so we can fix it as soon as possible. A golden immortal from the Kangwu Immortal City delivered a large batch of resources, which were the main and auxiliary materials for refining the 9 Revolutions Golden Pill. The reason why the 9 Revolutions Golden Pill is so rare is twofold. One is that some of the main materials are scarce, and the other is that the difficulty of refining is great. As a result, there are almost no 9 revolutions golden pills circulated on the market. Whenever alchemy masters refine a 9 revolutions golden pill, either they keep it for themselves or sell it immediately. Let's begin the refining. Lin Yuan glanced at the main and auxiliary materials and decided to make it a quick battle. Other alchemy masters, even the most top-tier ones, would need to sit in meditation for at least several months to adjust their state to perfection if they wanted to start refining immortal pills at the level of the 9 revolutions golden pill. But Lin Yuan doesn't need to go through such trouble. The intensity of his 12th layer mental will allow his alchemy to proceed smoothly. Time passed. 1 month later. Inside the cave mansion, Lin Yuan opened his eyes, and in front of him the pill furnace rotated with fragrance wafting around. An ordinary mortal taking a single breath of it could extend their lifespan by hundreds of thousands of years. The 9 revolutions golden pill, which can instantaneously cure all injuries at the golden immortal level, contains an immense vitality force that one can imagine. Almost done. Lin Yuan took a look and nodded slightly. In fact, refining this batch of 9 revolutions golden pills was just one of the avatars he had split off. His true body and 2 great primordial spirits continued to comprehend many laws. Next, it's time to endure the heavenly tribulation. Lin Yuan thought to himself. Why is it called 9 revolutions? It is because to become a pill, it needs to go through 9 heavenly tribulations. With the endless destructive vitality in the heavenly tribulation, the pill can complete the final step of becoming a pill. And the most difficult part of refining the 9 revolutions golden pill lies in the heavenly tribulation. To pass through 9 heavenly tribulations places extremely high demands on the immortal pill itself. The vast majority of 9 revolutions golden pills are destroyed under the heavenly tribulation, because the various medicinal forces inside the immortal pill have not perfectly fused, unable to withstand the heavenly tribulation. Every day, a large number of immortals enter and leave Kangwu Immortal City, mostly at the Transcendence Tribulation stage and the Mahayana realm, with the occasional traces of golden immortals. Compared to the huge number of immortals, the number of golden immortals is quite scarce, and as for jade immortals, Jade immortals basically reside in the Great Cave Mansion area. They only need to approach the immortal city within a certain range to directly enter the cave mansions with their cave-dwelling jade tokens. At this very moment, a pressing force coming from between heaven and earth began to sweep down invisibly. Above the firmament, wisps of black tribulation clouds began to gather, with purple lightning rolling like dragons. What's that? Is that tribulation clouds? Is someone about to transcend the tribulation? It's not a person transcending tribulation, it's an immortal pill transcending tribulation. There's an alchemy master refining a 9 revolutions golden pill. Many immortals swiftly discussed, with a minority of experienced and knowledgeable immortals immediately recognizing the source of the tribulation clouds. There are subtle differences between the tribulation clouds condensed by immortals undergoing tribulation and those by immortal pills undergoing tribulation. And immortal pills undergoing tribulation? The most famous of them are 9 revolutions golden pills. This life-saving immortal pill, even powerful golden immortals and jade immortals, desire it immensely. 9 revolutions golden pill, exactly. I've seen a few alchemy masters refining 9 revolutions golden pills before, and many failed at the final heavenly tribulation. I wonder which alchemy master from our Kangwu Immortal City is starting the pill furnace. One by one, the immortals watched carefully, witnessing an alchemy master refining a 9 revolutions golden pill. A rare scene not often observed, hoping they might gain some insights from it. 9 revolutions golden pill? Is it Yun Jinzi who is refining the 9 revolutions golden pill? In another great cave mansion, the Azure Dragon Sect Master from the 9 Dragons Commerce Association also noticed the scent of tribulation clouds. For a jade immortal, it is easy to sense the targeted range of the tribulation clouds above the firmament, precisely over the great cave mansion where Yun Jinzi is located. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 903 The Sixth Physical Body Divine Ability _2 I heard that the Hall Master of Flying Immortal Hall has requested Master Yun Jinzi to refine 9 Revolutions golden pills. The elder with white hair said. He had extensive connections and knew many secret pieces of intelligence. I'm aware of this. The Azure Dragon Sect Master nodded. After his negotiations with Yun Jinzi collapsed, the Hall Master of Flying Immortal Hall even specifically inquired about the conditions Yun Jinzi had proposed. It seems that the Hall Master of Flying Immortal Hall holds Master Yun Jinzi in high regard, the white-haired elder said with a smile. With the status of the Hall Master of Flying Immortal Hall, he could completely invite a top-tier alchemy master to refine the 9 Revolutions golden pills. But in the end, he chose Yun Jinzi? The only explanation is that he sees great promise in him. How important is the 9 Revolutions golden pill? One would certainly have a trusted alchemy master refine it. Otherwise, if the refining fails, the loss of all the main ingredients and auxiliary herbs would be enormous. Refining the 9 Revolutions golden pill approval alone isn't enough. It still requires the true strength of the alchemy master, the Azure Dragon Sect Master said indifferently. He had just failed in negotiations with Yun Jinzi when the Hall Master of Flying Immortal Hall went to talk to Yun Jinzi immediately after, which was somewhat embarrassing for the Azure Dragon Sect Master. That's true. To be successfully formed, the 9 Revolutions golden pill must endure 9 divine tribulations. The white-haired elder nodded. From this aspect, we can see the level of accomplishment of an alchemy master. The most top-tier alchemy masters, when refining a 9 Revolutions golden pill, will perfectly merge the many medicinal qualities within it, easily transcending the 9 divine tribulations. Slightly lesser alchemy masters. Before the white-haired elder could finish, above the vault of heaven, within the dark tribulation clouds, divine tribulations began descending. Boom, boom, boom. Streaks of white, cyan, and purple lightning surged into the Grade A cave dwelling where Lin Yuan was located. In less than an instant, the 9 divine tribulations ended one after another, and the dark tribulation clouds above the heavens began to dissipate. Rich pill fragrances faintly spread to nearly half of Kangwu Immortal City. Was it a successful refining? The white-haired elder was taken aback. 9 rounds of the divine tribulation had descended perfectly, and the scent of pills emanating outwards meant that the refining of 9 Revolutions golden pills had been successful. Xia the Oval Fire. At website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. This batch of 9 Revolutions golden pills refined by Master Yun Jinzi is of very high quality, a level that many top-tier alchemy masters may not be able to achieve, the white-haired elder said as he gently inhaled the pill fragrance. Although he was not an alchemy master himself, he was still quite familiar with many immortal pills. The fleeting fragrance emitted by the 9 Revolutions immortal pills upon their formation indicated the quality of the refining. Very high quality? The Azure Dragon Sect Master beside him fell silent. Despite his reluctance to believe it, he had come to a similar conclusion. Azure Dragon Sect Master, you should have agreed to Master Yun Jinzi's conditions. A mere tens of millions of top-grade immortal crystals are nothing. If the 29 Revolutions golden pills that are refined are all of this quality, it will definitely be a huge profit, the white-haired elder said in a low voice. Even among 9 Revolutions golden pills, they are of different grades according to quality. The highest quality 9 Revolutions golden pills can instantly heal all injuries of a golden immortal and also have a great effect on jade immortals. For alchemy masters, occasionally refining 1 or 2 9 Revolutions golden pills might involve an element of luck and state of mind. But refining a batch of extremely high-quality 9 Revolutions golden pills is wholly a testament to one's own strength. From this batch of 9 Revolutions golden pills refined by Yun Jinzi, it is apparent that Yun Jinzi's alchemical accomplishments far exceed those of ordinary alchemy masters. Weren't you saying that Yun Jinzi was just an ordinary alchemy master? The Azure Dragon Sect Master frowned, looking at the white-haired elder. If the white-haired elder had made it clear that Yun Jinzi was also a top-tier alchemy master, he might have agreed to Yun Jinzi's terms. I really didn't know. The white-haired elder felt a bit helpless. Who could have anticipated that Yun Jinzi, who had disappeared for nearly 10 million years, would have made such leaps and bounds in his alchemical skills. And now, the white-haired elder looked at the Azure Dragon sect master tentatively. "Contact Master Yun Zhenzi for me again. Tell him I've agreed to all his terms," the Azure Dragon sect master said immediately. Although he hadn't reached a cooperation with Yun Zhenzi previously, the Azure Dragon sect master felt that Yun Zhenzi would not be averse to top-grade immortal crystals. The reward for refining 29 Revolutions golden pills is 10 million top-grade immortal crystals, which even a top-tier alchemy master would find hard to refuse. "Okay, I'll try," the white-haired elder nodded. Grade A cave dwelling. Lin Yuan looked at the 13-round, golden immortal pills in front of him. The rich life force circulated within each immortal pill. "Is this the 9 Revolutions immortal pill?" Lin Yuan was also refining such a high-level pill for the first time, observing it carefully for a while. With one furnace able to refine 13 9 Revolutions golden pills, the main ingredients and auxiliary herbs were used to their full potential, Lin Yuan thought. Normally, even the topmost alchemy masters couldn't possibly utilize every bit of medicinal power. A furnace of 9 Revolutions golden pills might at most form 5 or 6 pills. The rest of the medicinal properties would be wasted. But Lin Yuan was different. Even if it was just a trivial incarnation, his spiritual will was such that he could perfectly use every bit of the medicinal power for solidifying pills. That's why there were 13 9 Revolutions golden pills from one furnace. Based on my current rate of pill formation, the batch of main ingredients and auxiliary herbs given to me by the Hall Master of the Flying Immortal Hall could fully be refined into more than 109 Revolutions golden pills. A smile emerged on Lin Yuan's face. The agreement between the Hall Master of the Flying Immortal Hall and him was to refine 59 Revolutions golden pills with that batch of main ingredients and auxiliary herbs. Lin Yuan could refine over 109 Revolutions golden pills. After giving the 50 agreed upon to the Hall Master of the Flying Immortal Hall, he could naturally keep the rest for himself. And this, for Lin Yuan, was a huge amount of cultivation resources. With the rarity of 9 Revolutions golden pills, Lin Yuan could completely use barter to exchange for resources like immortal origin that weren't circulated in the market. Alchemy is truly a lucrative affair. Lin Yuan felt quite moved in his heart. This time he only spent a month on alchemy, and it was just a month for an incarnation, but he harvested more than a dozen top-quality 9 Revolutions golden pills which could sell for tens of millions or even hundreds of millions of top-grade immortal crystals on the market. Such an efficiency in amassing wealth, even plundering couldn't compare. Not to mention the many risks and hidden dangers that come with plundering. "Master," after completing a furnace of 9 Revolutions golden pills, Lin Yuan received a request to meet from Yun Zhenzi. "What is it?" Lin Yuan appeared on the throne, looking down at Yun Zhenzi below. "That Azure Dragon sect master wants to meet with Master again, saying he agrees to the conditions and is willing to offer 10 million immortal crystals just for Master to help him with the alchemy." Yun Zhenzi immediately reported. "All conditions are agreed upon?" Lin Yuan shook his head slightly. "The conditions have changed now. If the 9 Dragons Commerce Association wants me to personally refine 29 Revolutions golden pills, they need to pay out 50 million top-grade immortal crystals as remuneration," Lin Yuan said. Just now, after Lin Yuan successfully refined the 9 Revolutions golden pills, at least dozens of powers from the 33 immortal domains requested his help in refining 9 Revolutions golden pills. Lin Yuan no longer cared about the mere 10 million top-grade immortal crystals from the Azure Dragon sect master. "Yes." Yun Zhenzi nodded. His figure disappeared on the spot to reply to the Azure Dragon sect master. Cave cultivation area. Lin Yuan was mainly observing the irregular crack above the vault of heaven, with a small part of his mind and energy devoted to contemplating the palm-sized divine skill imprint deep within his body, made up of endless mysterious runes. This divine skill imprint represented Lin Yuan's 6th physical body divine ability. During this sojourn in the immortal realm, re-walking the path of martial Tao with the foundation of this flesh and blood lineage, he unearthed this martial divine ability. Compared to the previous 5 physical body divine abilities, the 6th divine ability that Lin Yuan awoke was more extreme. Finally, I've completely penetrated the insights of this divine skill imprint. Inside Lin Yuan, that deep and complicated divine skill imprint seemed to hold no more secrets, its many mysteries fully revealed in Lin Yuan's eyes. To bring a physical body divine ability back to the main universe, one must fully comprehend the corresponding divine skill imprint. And just now, Lin Yuan had completely penetrated the insights of this divine skill imprint. Among the many physical body divine abilities that Lin Yuan controlled, the longest contemplation time was spent on this particular divine ability, taking a full 500 years. This divine ability, Lin Yuan extended his right hand. A breath that shook the soul coiled around his fingertips. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 904 The Origin of Immortals. Please subscribe. It's not accurate to say that Lin Yuan comprehended this divine skill imprint within 500 years. It took specifically 490 years, and Lin Yuan wasn't fully devoted to its comprehension. Apart from understanding the space-time rule among many other rules and perfecting the martial Tao at the level 11 perfect standard among many aspects, the real mental and energy effort Lin Yuan spent on this divine skill imprint was only about 1/50th. Yet, even so, it also shows how extraordinary this divine skill imprint is. With Lin Yuan's against heaven's understanding, even just 1/50th took nearly 500 years to fully understand. SAR the novel F.I.R. NT website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Divine skill. Tear Sky. Lin Yuan looked at the aura winding through his fingers. The sixth physical body divine ability, named Tear Sky, is purely and extremely a combative divine skill. Lin Yuan's fifth physical body divine ability, named World, is also a combative skill, but it includes a suppressing effect that envelopes all enemies within its external range, causing them to be suppressed. But the divine skill Tear Sky, it only has one effect, that is to tear everything apart, to shatter everything. In terms of sheer individual killing power, the prowess of divine skill Tear Sky even surpasses World. After all, even the final self-exploding move of divine skill World targets a group range, while divine skill Tear Sky targets only a single point, or a line. The ultimate killing power made even Lin Yuan somewhat shocked. Since Lin Yuan awakened this physical body divine ability, he had not used it fully, fearing its destructive power was too great and would attract the attention of ancestor of the immortal path. If measured by the battle strength standards of the main world, the limit of this divine skill's power should reach between 400,000 to 500,000. Lin Yuan estimated in his mind. It is worth noting that the measurement standards here with level 11 perfect as the basic unit, which is 1. After Lin Yuan entered level 11, the upper limit of his battle strength is 10,000, and his subsequent strength increases rapidly, reaching at most tens of thousands. The explosive instant power emitted by the external world's self-explosion is roughly around 300,000. But divine skill Tear Sky, erupting directly with the battle strength of 400,000 to 500,000, the threshold battle standard for 12 layers ultimate is only about 1 million. Too extreme. Lin Yuan continued to observe the essence of divine skill Tear Sky. The previous 5 physical body divine abilities all enhanced various aspects, but Tear Sky, only destruction. Unfortunately, in the short term, I can only exert one strike of Tear Sky, Lin Yuan thought to himself. This is quite normal. Divine skill Tear Sky allows Lin Yuan to deliver a blow that surpasses his own strength by many folds. If he could use it at will, Lin Yuan himself would be afraid. Among the 3 Tao-protecting secret skills of the Shenhuang lineage, the Shenhuang One Strike at a perfect level only allows Lin Yuan a constant 6 times his battle strength, and it is based on a huge consumption. While divine skill Tear Sky, far more than 60 or 600 times the strength burst. The battle strength jumping from 300,000 to 400,000 or 500,000 seems to increase by less than 1 time, but the actual gap in between is unimaginable. Regrettably, divine skill Tear Sky cannot be overlaid with divine skill World, Otherwise, Lin Yuan sighed. These two divine skills are both combative and cannot be fused together. However, Lin Yuan is already very satisfied. Whether it is Divine Skill World or Divine Skill Tier Sky, their prowess is not fixed, but depends on Lin Yuan himself. Divine Skill World depends on Lin Yuan's internal world. Divine Skill Tier Sky depends on Lin Yuan's essence of life. It will increase alongside Lin Yuan becoming stronger. Half a year later, the Hall Master of Flying Immortal Hall visited again. Ha 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 ha, Master Yunjinzi. Did you call me here because the 9 Revolutions golden pills are all refined? Flying Immortal Hall's Hall Master laughed heartily. Every time Lin Yuan successfully refined a 9 Revolutions golden pill, it would cause a heavenly phenomenon with dense tribulation clouds, from which the Flying Immortal Hall's Hall Master could infer the quality of the resulting pills. Task fulfilled. Lin Yuan stretched out his right hand, and a green gourd appeared in front of the Hall Master of the Flying Immortal Hall. The Hall Master of the Flying Immortal Hall carefully opened the gourd, pouring out a golden immortal pill, and scrutinized it for a while. Very good indeed. This 9 Revolutions golden pill is definitely among the highest quality of all the 9 Revolutions golden pills I have ever seen, declared the Hall Master of the Flying Immortal Hall, thoroughly satisfied. He specially half-bartered, half-gifted, using 3 parts immortal source as compensation, requesting Lin Yuan for alchemy, not just assuming that Yun Zhenxi's alchemy skills were as simple as they appear. Now it seems the Hall Master of Flying Immortal Hall clearly bet correctly. Just the highest quality 9 Revolutions golden pill currently before him was enough to show that Lin Yuan's alchemy skills surpassed those of an alchemy master. There are 59 Revolutions golden pills in there. I hope the Hall Master will count them, Lin Yuan said. Inside the green gourd were the 59 Revolutions golden pills traded to the Hall Master of the Flying Immortal Hall. In this alchemy session, Lin Yuan produced a total of 132 pills. Aside from these 50, Lin Yuan secretly took away 82 9 Revolutions golden pills. Ha 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 ha. Yunjinzi is so straightforward in handing all the 9 Revolutions golden pills to me. Aren't you afraid he'll just turn around and leave? A smile appeared on view on WordPress. The first is the ancestor of the immortal path. The second is the ancestor of the demon abyss. Ha ha ha. Thank you, Master Yunjinzi, for your trust. The Hall Master of the Flying Immortal Hall was also in good spirits, unaware that if he dared to turn around and leave, it would undoubtedly be a situation where even the Ancestral Master could not save him. The Hall Master of the Flying Immortal Hall thought that Lin Yuan really trusted him. This is the tripartite immortal source. The Hall Master of the Flying Immortal Hall flipped his hand and took out a black wooden box, which hovered in midair and came in front of Lin Yuan. This? Lin Yuan's heart slightly stirred. The moment the wooden box appeared, Lin Yuan faintly felt an inexplicable aura, as if it was the origin of everything, the beginning of all things. Lin Yuan caught the box, just about to open it. Master Yunjinzi, please don't open it for now. Seeing this, the Hall Master of the Flying Immortal Hall hurriedly reminded. Once an immortal source is revealed, it begins to dissipate. It is best if Master Yunjinzi waits until the official use of the immortal source to open the box. Otherwise, it's a bit of a waste. The immortal source comes from the origin of the immortal realm, and once it leaves the primordial lands, it will irreversibly dissipate. The wooden box fundamentally helps to isolate the immortal source from the outside, stopping its dissipation. So that's how it is. Lin Yuan nodded. Although he had the memories of Yunjinzi, he was not very familiar with such rare treasures as the immortal source. Next, the Hall Master of the Flying Immortal Hall further requested Lin Yuan to refine several types of immortal pills. For this Lin Yuan naturally agreed. After all, he wasn't refining for nothing. Kangwu Immortal City would provide compensation satisfactory to Lin Yuan. Is the demand for immortal pills by the Immortal City so huge because of the war between immortals and demons? Lin Yuan asked. Through conversations with the Hall Master of the Flying Immortal Hall, Lin Yuan subtly realized that Kangwu Immortal City was placing extraordinarily high importance on this war between immortals and demons. Kangwu Immortal City, as one of the 33 immortal domains, has experienced countless wars between immortals and demons. For most Jade immortals, such wars are a significant threat, with the possibility of falling at the hands of those demons. But for the Immortal City, since the first war between immortals and demons began, it has never been heard that any immortal city was breached by demons. This war between immortals and demons is expected to be far more brutal than usual. The Hall Master of the Flying Immortal Hall hesitated for a while and said in a low voice, "This news has not yet been made public. Only giants of the Immortal City like the Hall Master of the Flying Immortal Hall know about it. If it weren't for Lin Yuan asking, the Hall Master of the Flying Immortal Hall would not mention it. After all, the impact is too significant. A normal war between immortals and demons already chills the spines of those golden immortals and jade immortals. How many golden and jade immortals might die in a far more brutal war? Far more." Lin Yuan listened. Yes. Master Yun Jinzi should know that the so-called war between immortals and demons is mainly caused by demons from the demon abyss invading. The Hall Master of the Flying Immortal Hall said, "The reason the demons invade is because part of the consciousness of the ancestor of the demon abyss briefly revives, leading to an endless incursion of demons into the immortal realm. In the past, the consciousness of the ancestor of the demon abyss, though it would revive, at most only revives to about 10%, but in this war between immortals and demons, the consciousness of the ancestor of the demon abyss might revive to 50 or 60%. The Hall Master of the Flying Immortal Hall spoke gravely. 50 or 60% consciousness? Lin Yuan's expression also became solemn. Such a degree of consciousness revival, the ancestor of the demon abyss might interfere with the immortal realm. Then, the many immortals of the immortal realm, not only are they facing endless demons, but they may also face the ancestor of the demon abyss who is a level 12 ultimate. However, if the ancestor of the demon abyss intervenes, the ancestor of the immortal path would definitely not just watch. A direct confrontation between two level 12 ultimates will make this war between immortals and demons intricately complex. Let's hope we can smoothly get through this war between immortals and demons." The Hall Master of the Flying Immortal Hall sighed and then rose to leave. War between immortals and demons? Lin Yuan sat and contemplated for a while. The war between immortals and demons doesn't affect him much. He can simply hide if it becomes too much. Let's see what exactly the immortal source is. Lin Yuan's figure disappeared from the spot. Cave cultivation area. Lin Yuan sits cross-legged, a black wooden box quietly hovering in front of him. What a peculiar feeling. Lin Yuan was amazed. Even with the wooden box isolating the inside from outside, he could feel a special sensation. After observing for a while, Lin Yuan slowly opened the wooden box. Buzz! A mysterious aura began to emit. Lin Yuan looked inside the wooden box, and his expression slightly changed. This, if you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc. Please let us know, report, so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 905 Hope. Please subscribe. The black wooden box appears to be just a wooden box on the surface, containing 3 portions of immortal essence. But in fact, it is made up of layers of sealing techniques, completely isolating the inside and outside of the box, including space and causality. Only thus can the dispersion of immortal essence be minimized as much as possible. In terms of value, not to mention the immortal essence within the wooden box, just the box itself, is worth no less than 100,000 top-grade immortal crystals, equivalent to the entire fortune of a common jade immortal. Buzz. Inside the black wooden box, there lies a fist-sized crystal with points of light circulating inside, resembling endless stars. As the seal on the wooden box is opened, the crystal begins to emit strands of aura, spreading in all directions, faintly enveloping Lin Yuan in a mysterious universe. And within this universe, the fluctuations of many great rules ripple towards him like waves. Lin Yuan's mind is shaken. The experience he is undergoing is like a person who has been thirsty for dozens of days suddenly plunging into water, the longed-for source of water rushing endlessly towards him. You're against heaven's understanding. Observing the mysterious origin source boosts your comprehension of various fundamental rules. In almost an instant, Lin Yuan immerses himself in cultivation, the spatio-temporal fusion rule, among many other pillar-level fusion rules, visibly accelerating. Half a day later, Lin Yuan looks at the immortal essence in front of him, now reduced in size, and quickly closes the wooden box. Instantly, the inside and outside of the wooden box are isolated, stopping the dispersion of the immortal essence's aura, and everything returns to normal. This immortal essence, coming from the origin of the immortal realm, is condensed from the auras of the primordial lands. Once it arrives in the outside world, losing the condensing environment, the immortal essence will evaporate, disperse. And the aura of the immortal realm's origin source, dispersed by the evaporation, briefly replicates the environment of the origin of the immortal realm. Lin Yuan's eyes sparkle, just like water turns into ice in a sub-zero environment. But as soon as it returns to above zero, the ice turns back into water again. The immortal essence works on a similar principle. Simply put, just now, Lin Yuan, in effect, briefly cultivated at the origin of the immortal realm. CTH novel F. Iyer. NT website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. The feeling of the great principles raining down aids Lin Yuan far more than when other Jade immortals ponder the immortal essence. After all, Lin Yuan's against heaven's understanding gives him a cultivation speed that far surpasses other Jade immortals. The same apple hitting on the head, some people only feel the apple is really hard, or that it's not tasty. But others can directly understand some fundamental nature of the universe. This is the difference in understanding. The brief environment formed by the dispersal of immortal essence gives Lin Yuan incredible gains. Just in that short half-day, Lin Yuan feels he has advanced further in understanding the spatio-temporal fusion rule, and so it is with the other pillar-level fusion rules. If it was just accelerating the understanding of rules, it wouldn't have shaken Lin Yuan so much. After all, with his against heaven's understanding, even without the immortal essence, he would eventually comprehend what needs to be comprehended, just taking more time. However, through just that brief comprehension of the immortal essence, Lin Yuan, including the spatio-temporal fusion rule, has all rules progressing simultaneously, feeling like all the myriad principles unify into one, akin to chaos. Chaos rule. Lin Yuan's spirit soars. So far, Lin Yuan hasn't been sure about comprehending the chaos rule at level 11. As there's no direction given, even Shen Huang and the demonic Jade Tower Master can provide no guidance. What Lin Yuan can do is to understand as many great principles as possible. But just now, Lin Yuan finally sensed the feeling of everything returning to chaos. Immortal essence. Immortal essence can help me comprehend the chaos rule. Lin Yuan thinks to himself, comprehending the chaos rule at level 11 not only massively boosts his strength, but also greatly enhances the probability when reaching the ultimate phase. Compared to the former, Lin Yuan values the latter more. Unfortunately, the immortal essence is consumed too quickly. Lin Yuan looks at the wooden box in front of him. It has shrunk after being opened just for a short half-day. If he keeps comprehending without restraint, probably in just over 10 days, the 3 portions of immortal essence would be completely dissipated. No wonder the hall master of the flying immortal hall told me to open the wooden box only when I'm comprehending in cultivation. Lin Yuan muses to himself. Even if it's just opened briefly, the consumption of immortal essence would reach 1 in 100,000, 1 in 10 million, which is a definite loss. The following cultivation, only at critical moments can I rely on immortal essence. Other times, it's normal comprehension. Lin Yuan looks up at the irregular cracks in the sky. Additionally, try to obtain more immortal essence. If there is ample immortal essence, Lin Yuan's cultivation speed would definitely surpass the current, and comprehending the chaos rule would no longer be a mere wish. Does Heavenly Water Holy Palace also want the Master to concoct a batch of 9 Revolutions golden pills? They're only willing to offer 20 million top-grade immortal crystals? Too stingy. Just refuse them. Songlio Palace wants the Master to concoct a life and death reincarnation pill, offering 30 million top-grade immortal crystals as the reward? The life and death reincarnation pill is even rarer than the 9 Revolutions golden pill. The alchemy master would also need to undergo life and death risks to concoct it. Just 30 million top-grade immortal crystals? I don't even feel like refusing. Sun Moon Sect is willing to offer one portion of immortal essence, asking the master to start the furnace once. This could be considered, the master said. Those involving immortal essence shouldn't be so easily refused. Inside the Great Hall, Yun Jinzi looks at the letters from various forces, quickly glancing through, rejecting all those without sincerity. Ever since Lin Yuan successfully concocted the first batch of 9 Revolutions golden pills, inciting the descent of heavenly tribulation, and eventually the successful formation of pills, his reputation as the topmost alchemy master has truly spread widely. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 906 Hope, please subscribe _2 for this reason. Many forces in the 33 immortal domains, and even forces from the wilderness regions beyond the 33 immortal domains, wish to request Lin Yuan's help with alchemy. After all, in the immortal realm, the importance of an alchemy master is undeniable, with various kinds of immortal pills becoming an indispensable part of all immortals' lives. For many immortals, the significance of immortal pills even exceeds that of immortal artifacts. Master, what kind of power is it actually? Yun Jinzi quickly finished reading all the letters, and couldn't help but think of his attempt to seize Lin Yuan's body, invading Lin Yuan's spirit world, and seeing that towering, high and mighty hazy figure. Yun Zenzi's initial reaction was to wonder if he had tried to seize the body of an ancestral master, because aside from an ancestral master, at the level of a jade immortal, whose spiritual will could make him feel so hopeless. However, ever since I started serving my master, my strength and realm have indeed improved a lot. Yun Jinzi composed himself, realizing that in the past 500 years, even the things that slipped through Lin Yuan's fingers had benefited him greatly, especially when Lin Yuan occasionally produced waste pills during alchemy. The waste pills defined by Lin Yuan were, in Yun Zenzi's eyes, already of decent quality. Inside the cave mansion, Lin Yuan sat cross-legged, space slightly twisted in all directions. When comprehending the rules and the Grand Tao, even though Lin Yuan tried to reduce his interference with the surroundings as much as possible, he could not completely stop it. In the past 500 years, under the subtle influence of Lin Yuan, the space of the entire cultivation area had expanded countless times. The grand spatial temporal maze spread out, centered around Lin Yuan, filling every inch of space in the cultivation area. However, only Lin Yuan could enter the cultivation area. Yun Jinzi was occasionally able to approach, but since the latter bore Lin Yuan's aura seal, he wasn't affected much. One day, the Hall Master of Flying Immortal Hall paid a visit to Lin Yuan. Ha ha ha, Master Yun Jinzi, I wonder if you're still interested in crafting another batch of 9 Revolutions golden pills? The Hall Master of Flying Immortal Hall asked with a smile, having found that the effects of the 59 Revolutions golden pills that Lin Yuan had previously crafted were even better than imagined after detailed evaluation upon return. It would be an honor. A smile appeared on Lin Yuan's face. The trade with the Hall Master of Flying Immortal Hall was very straightforward, and he was even paid in origin source for alchemy. Lin Yuan naturally would not refuse. Next. The two discussed the details of alchemy, and Lin Yuan asked, "Does the Hall Master have any channels to purchase origin source?" For Lin Yuan, he naturally could never have too much origin source, yet apart from a few powers like the Hall Master of Flying Immortal Hall who were willing to trade origin source as payment, others only offered top-quality immortal crystals or other precious resources in exchange for his alchemy. The Master desires origin source? Surprise appeared on the Hall Master of Flying Immortal Hall's face. According to the origin source traded with Lin Yuan, it should have been enough for the cultivation of a normal jade immortal. The consumption of origin source is not a matter of more being better. The environment briefly formed when origin source dissipates can pose a risk of becoming Tao for a long time, even for a jade immortal. The so-called becoming Tao means returning everything back to the grand Tao of heaven and earth. To resist the becoming Tao effect of origin source for a long time, one can only rely on the spiritual willpower of the jade immortal itself. But normally speaking, Even the topmost Jade Immortals wouldn't dare to cultivate too long in the kind of environment created by the origin source. Of course, even if they can only engage in short-term cultivation, it is of great help to any Jade Immortal, which is also the reason why origin source is incredibly rare. After all, Jade Immortals have long lifespans, and it's nothing to them to contemplate origin source for a brief period after a long while. I will help the Master to inquire further. The Hall Master of Flying Immortal Hall nodded. Thank you, Lin Yuan said. The two continued their conversation for a while. As if recalling something, the Hall Master of Flying Immortal Hall spoke in a low voice. By the way, does the Master wish to hire some top Jade Immortals for protection? Protect myself? Lin Yuan was startled. Indeed, the Hall Master of the Flying Immortal Hall explained. With the Master's current alchemical expertise, while attracting some seekers of pills, it's certain to also draw the attention of many with ill intentions. Although the Hall Master of the Flying Immortal Hall did not state it explicitly, his meaning was quite clear. Top alchemy masters are undoubtedly wealthy, and the wealth they accumulate is immense, attracting the notice of some formidable Jade Immortals. As long as one can kill a top alchemy master, the wealth obtained would be enough to support their cultivation for a lengthy period. Since ancient times, plundering has always been the quickest shortcut to amassing wealth. Lin Yuan is unwilling to plunder because alchemy is an even more efficient and safer means than plundering. But for other Jade Immortals, that might not be the case. Would they dare to make a move in an immortal city? Lin Yuan asked. In Kangwu Immortal City, countless killing formations are laid out, and even Jade Immortals must tread carefully, especially so in the cave mansion area, and more so in the top-tier cave mansion where Lin Yuan resides. Being the highest-grade cave mansion in Kangwu Immortal City, it naturally places great emphasis on safety. The Immortal City is indeed enveloped in killing formations, but they are not absolutely perfect. These formations are also laid out by Jade Immortals, so there's a possibility to unravel them, said the Hall Master of the Flying Immortal Hall truthfully. The Immortal Realm is vast with innumerable methods. It is true that the Immortal City is backed by the Ancestral Master, but after he created irregular rifts connecting to the origin of the Immortal Realm, he stopped intervening in governance. Sir, the novel Fire. Net ** website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. The establishment and perfection of the Immortal City rely on many Jade Immortals. Those killing formations were created by numerous Jade Immortals, and under such circumstances, the advice from the Hall Master of the Flying Immortal Hall is quite reasonable. If Lin Yuan were just an ordinary Jade Immortal, he wouldn't need to consider these matters. To have any hope of unraveling an immortal city's killing formations would require significant sacrifices. The cost alone far exceeds the entire fortune of an ordinary Jade Immortal, not to mention the risk of being detected by the killing formations of the Immortal City at any time, potentially provoking a joint suppression by numerous Jade Immortals. But Lin Yuan, although it is unknown exactly how much wealth Lin Yuan has, just the earnings from refining the 9 Revolutions Golden Pill lately have far surpassed those of an ordinary Jade Immortal. So that's how it is. Lin Yuan nodded. I'll consider it. In fact, Lin Yuan does not plan to hire any top Jade Immortals to protect himself. It would be too troublesome, and there's also the risk of exposing his own secrets. The reason why the Hall Master of the Flying Immortal Hall suggested hiring top Jade Immortals was due to being unaware of Lin Yuan's strength. The outside world only knows Lin Yuan is skilled in alchemy, a top-tier alchemy master. In fact, what Lin Yuan is best at is combat, especially since obtaining the 6th physical body divine ability, Rend Heaven. As for whether he will truly encounter plunder, Lin Yuan is somewhat looking forward to it. Who ends up plundering whom is not yet certain. On this journey through, Lin Yuan has set a tone for himself to stay as low-key as possible, but if someone actively offers themselves up, Lin Yuan can only gratefully accept. The 33 Immortal Domains. The Beizhou Immortal Domain. This is a vast immortal domain adjacent to the Shentian Immortal Domain. Chapter 907 Lost. Please subscribe. Let's head to another immortal domain. the beast-robed figure made up his mind. There was no choice, as he had become thoroughly infamous within this domain. His life essence was locked on, and any action would lead to recognition by other immortals. Subsequently contacting the various immortal cities, an endless pursuit would then ensue. However, the beast-robed figure had no regrets. By killing the scion of the Lord of North Cold Immortal City, the treasure he acquired advanced his strength by several levels. Even if given another chance, the beast-robed figure would choose to kill without hesitation. Cultivation is a struggle. Struggle against other immortals, struggle against the heaven and earth. In the eyes of the beast-robed figure, those immortals without power but in control of numerous cultivation resources were his prey, the nourishment on his path of cultivation. Let's see which immortal domain to choose. The beast-robed figure pondered. The choice of immortal domain was crucial, at least for his continued cultivation. A top-tier alchemy master has emerged in the Shentian immortal domain, named Yun Jinzi? Interest sparked within the beast-robed figure. Top-tier alchemy masters were all rolling in wealth. The beast-robed figure had once attempted to assassinate a top-tier alchemy master, but was thwarted by the high-level jade immortal the latter had hired. Top-tier alchemy masters, while in possession of vast wealth, also greatly valued their lives, willing to pay a substantial price for their protection. This Yun Jinzi, a newly emerged top-tier alchemy master, has yet to hire a top-level jade immortal? The beast-robed figure grew more interested. The last time Yun Jinzi made a move, nearly 10 million years had passed, and the combat power he exhibited back then was slightly above average among jade immortals. To the beast-robed figure, this was a plump sheep, even more enticing than the scion of the Lord of North Cold Immortal City. A top-tier alchemy master, even a newly minted one, possesses insight far surpassing an ordinary jade immortal. The treasure I obtained from the scion of the North Cold City Lord elevated my personal strength by several levels. There won't be any mishaps in dealing with a mere newly advanced top-tier alchemy master. SEA the Novel Fire, net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. The beast-robed figure was confident in himself. As for the intel that Yun Jinzi was extremely low-profile and seldom left his cave mansion, this posed no problem for the beast-robed figure. Having the audacity to assassinate a city lord scion within an immortal city, and escaping under the envelopment of numerous immortal city-killing formations, he was certain he could silently traverse the killing formations of Kangwu Immortal City and enter Yun Zenzi's cave mansion. Shentian Immortal Domain it is. The beast-robed figure stood, merged with the world, and vanished from sight. Shentian Immortal Domain was adjacent to the Beizhou Immortal Domain. The distance was not far, and with such an ideal target as Yun Jinzi, accomplishing this deed would ensure the beast-robed figure needn't worry about cultivation resources for a good while. Within the cave mansion, the cultivation area, Lin Yuan still sat cross-legged. At this moment, the void in front of him faintly distorted, and a figure appeared. It was the Taiyin primordial spirit. These are cultivation resources. Lin Yuan opened his eyes, took out a spatial ring, and floated it in front of the Taiyin primordial spirit. In fact, the Lin Yuan frequently residing within this top-tier cave mansion was not the true body, but the Taiyang divine spirit. The top-tier cave mansion in Kangwu Immortal City had an irregular fissure that connected to the origin of the immortal realm, where the ancestral master resided. Naturally, Lin Yuan would not let his true self stay here for long. In the event of any extreme situation, attracting the ancestral master's attention and losing the true body would be far more serious than losing a primordial spirit. Hence, even without any incidents for over 500 years, Lin Yuan still maintained the mode of his true body hiding in a secret place, while the Taiyang divine spirit stayed in Kangwu Immortal City, amassing numerous cultivation resources to support the true Bodhis cultivation. The Taiyin primordial spirit's visit was to deliver the cultivation resources earned by the Taiyang divine spirit to the true body. Whoosh! The Taiyin primordial spirit took the cultivation resources and quickly disappeared within the cave mansion. Before long, the Taiyin primordial spirit arrived at a subterranean location countless billions of miles away from Kangwu Immortal City. There had formed a vast underground palace where the true body of Lin Yuan sat cross-legged at its center. Whoosh! The Taiyin primordial spirit appeared and brought out the spatial ring. Lin Yuan swallowed all the resources from the spatial ring and soon felt a slight stirring in his heart, looking in a certain direction. That was the surface above the subterranean palace, where the void faintly fluctuated and strands of black energy spread, quickly followed by the descent of 7 or 8 demonic beings. In recent decades, the impact of the demon abyss invasion of the immortal realm has become increasingly severe, Lin Yuan thought to himself. The specific manifestation was the frequency of demonic beings appearing in the immortal realm increasing, even in the remote area that Lin Yuan had specifically chosen. If demonic beings were invading there, it was even less likely that other places were spared. Why does the ancestral master not intervene? Lin Yuan's brows furrowed, slightly puzzled. Although the ancestral master was exalted, with these demonic beings clearly already affecting the immortals of the realm, especially in the wars between immortals and demons, countless golden immortals had perished. Even jade immortals could not all avoid misfortune. With the 12th layer strength of the ancestral master, it would not be too difficult to suppress the ancestor of the demon abyss, let alone preventing these demonic beings from invading the immortal realm. Yet, time and again, wars between immortals and demons occurred. The ancestral master, residing high in the origin source, overseeing the immortals, showed no intention of taking action. Forget it. I need not consider these now. Lin Yuan reigned in his thoughts. Regardless of why the ancestral master did not prevent it, it bore little relevance to him. His current goal was to grasp as much as possible the 7th realm of time and space, as well as the fabled chaos rule. However, this temporary demon essence channel needs to be dealt with. Lin Yuan glanced at the surface, and after the arrival of the 7 or 8 demonic beings, the space gradually stabilized, and a dark portal about dozens of meters wide began to take shape. If the demon essence channel was left unchecked, it would continuously spawn demonic beings. Even if Lin Yuan's secluded underground palace remained undiscovered, once the demon essence channel expanded further, attracting attention from the jade immortals of various immortal cities, a large number of immortals would be dispatched to reseal the channel. At that time, it might be possible to discover traces of the underground palace. The demons have low intelligence, operating only on instinct. Although they are formed by the breath of the ancestor of the demon abyss, they have almost no spiritual wisdom. However, the jade immortals are different, with numerous methods at their disposal. Lin Yuan does not wish to cause any unnecessary trouble. The next moment, the Taiyin divine spirit vanished. When it reappeared, it had already reached the surface, standing before the rapidly forming demon essence channel. Oh woo! Roar! The 7 or 8 demons entering the immortal realm for the first time were exhilarated. To them, the immortal chi of the immortal realm and the blood, flesh, and souls of the immortals were incomparably delicious, especially the flesh of the jade immortals, which was an ultimate nourishment. Every demon that invades the immortal realm, as long as they can return to the demon abyss safely, their strength would increase by dozens or even hundreds of times. However, before these 7 or 8 demons could get a clear view of their surroundings, their consciousness began to plummet into darkness rapidly, and their flesh and souls were reduced to the most primal demonic chi. Is this demonic chi the breath of the ancestor of the demon abyss? Using the primal force, Lin Yuan Taiyin divine spirit reverted the demon's flesh and souls back to their origin, turning them into these insignificant wisps of demonic chi. Ancestor of the demon abyss, Lin Yuan observed carefully for a while, allowing these wisps of demonic chi to dissipate. Being of the 12th and ultimate tier, it's not necessarily a good idea to retain even a trace of the opponent's demonic chi. Especially recently, the consciousness of the ancestor of the demon abyss is about to reawaken, and it's possible that up to 60% of its consciousness will return. At this time, any trace of demonic chi might become a beacon for the ancestor of the demon abyss. Demon abyss? Lin Yuan looked at the dark channel before him. At this moment, with a thought, the space-time around the channel began to collapse, and the demon essence channel also began to rapidly disintegrate. Once I attain the 7th realm of space-time comprehension, it might be worth a visit to the demon abyss. Lin Yuan thought to himself that with the 7th realm of space-time comprehension, he could be confident in preserving his life even in the 12th tier path-splitting realm, considering the peculiar nature of the demon abyss existence. If possible, Lin Yuan would naturally dive in for a deep exploration. Moments later, the demon essence channel in front of him completely collapsed, as if it never existed. Seeing this, Lin Yuan finally turned and left. The disappearance of the demon essence channel was actually quite normal. For the numerous demons within the demon abyss, it was a common occurrence. If one channel disappeared, they would just move on to the next. Time passed. In the blink of an eye, 10 years went by. In Kangwu Immortal City, within the cave mansion area, the figure in the beast robe, now taking the form of a slender golden immortal, appeared in front of the flying immortal hall. That place should be Yun Zhenxi's cave mansion. The figure in the beast robe glanced at the cave mansion area. The 33 immortal domains are vast and boundless. Even though the Beizhou immortal domain borders the Shintian immortal domain, it took the figure in the beast robe a full 10 years to reach Kangwu Immortal City. 10 years have passed. Does Yun Zhenxi still have no intention of hiring top-level Jade Immortals to protect him? A flicker of surprise crossed the face of the figure in the beast robe. Over the 10 years, he never ceased to monitor intelligence on Yun Zhenxi, but he had never heard of any top-level Jade Immortals being employed by him. Is it confidence in the Immortal City's protective formation, or has he secretly hired them without my knowledge? The figure in the beast robe couldn't be bothered to ponder any further. Since he had come here, it meant that he was determined to succeed. Even if Yun Zhenxi had already hired top-level Jade Immortal protection, he would still make his move to assassinate him. Compared to his last attempt, after obtaining that treasure from the heir of the Lord of North Cold City, the figure in the beast robe considered his strength to have greatly increased. Confident that he could swiftly kill Yun Zhenxi even under the protection of a top-level Jade Immortal. The Immortal City's formation? The figure in the beast robe arrived at the entrance to the cave mansion area and smiled faintly. His figure merged with the heaven and earth, silently infiltrating the area. Passing by mansion after mansion, the figure in the beast robe finally arrived in front of a first-class mansion. This mansion was the one Lin Yuan was staying in. This Yun Zhenxi must have a close relationship with the higher-ups of the Immortal City. I can feel the formation pressure in this area is much higher, said the figure in the beast robe with a slightly solemn expression. But it doesn't matter much. He could almost ignore the Immortal City's formation entirely because of his acute mastery over space-time. No formation can exist without space-time. By mastering space-time, most formations in the world become meaningless. Space-time. The eyes of the figure in beast robe faintly glowed whitish, and then he merged into the first-class mansion. Yun Zhenxi should be in the cultivation area. After he infiltrated the mansion, the figure in the beast robe quickly surveyed the surroundings and then headed towards the cultivation area. Soon, the figure in the beast robe arrived at the entrance of the core area. Yun Zhenxi! Excitement flickered across the face of the figure in the beast robe. Having infiltrated this far without triggering any alarms made him almost certain of his success in assassinating Yun Zhenxi. Whoosh! The next moment, the figure in the beast robe disappeared again, entering the cultivation area of the mansion. Like a pebble dropping into the endless ocean, the figure in the beast robe, who had finally entered the core area, suddenly found that the world around him had changed. A vast realm of endless layers of space-time, so immense that the figure could see no end to it. What is this? The figure in the beast robe was stunned and looked around repeatedly. An inconceivable thought surged in his mind at that moment. Had he lost his way? If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 908, The Descent of Demon Abyss. Please subscribe. Where is this place? The figure in the beast robe was somewhat bewildered. He remembered that he had secretly intruded into the training area of Yunzensi's cave mansion. But now, all around, heaven and earth, vast and boundless. The first thought of the figure in the beast robe was whether he had fallen into some kind of illusionary array. But he immediately dismissed the idea. Even the most powerful illusionary array is, after all, just an illusion. Deceiving the perception of an ordinary jade immortal was one thing. But for him, a jade immortal, the incredibly realistic space-time fluctuations all around him, made the figure in the beast robe realize this was not an illusion at all. It was real space-time. Jezi world. This is a Jezi world created by a top jade immortal. The figure in the beast robe finally remembered something. Top jade immortals, when comprehending the mysteries of space-time and spending long periods in seclusion, could affect the area, causing phenomena similar to a spatial temporal maze to form. This is the Jezi world. However, in the knowledge of the figure in the beast robe, even the Jezi worlds formed by the ancestor of the Immortal Path's direct disciples, who were in seclusion for years, were at most a few thousand or 10,000 miles in range. How could it be as vast and endless as it is now? This is also why the figure in the beast robe did not initially think of the Jezi world. The Jezi world before him differed too greatly from the normal Jezi world. What kind of existence could form a Jezi world on such a scale? The figure in the beast robe's mind trembled. Although there was no set standard for the size of a Jezi world, it must relate to the depth of the original Jade Immortal's comprehension of space-time mysteries. Normally speaking, the more vast the Jezi world and the more complex the spatial temporal maze, the more terrifying the original Jade Immortal's insight into the mysteries of space-time. And who could correspond to the Jezi world in front of him? The figure in the beast robe dared not imagine. Rumbling. Before the figure in the beast robe could make any movement, the space-time around him began to ripple, and like a lone boat in the vast sea, he was submerged under the sea in an instant. Which number is this? In the center of the training area, Lin Yuan opened his eyes, with all the numerous treasures and battle loot from the figure in the beast robe appearing before him. S.E.A. the novel F. Ire. NT website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Ever since 10 years ago, when he revealed his skills as a top alchemy master, every so often, there would be mysterious jade immortals secretly infiltrating his cave mansion. To thoroughly eliminate the jade immortals who infiltrated, Lin Yuan usually suppressed them in an instant, then used the Abyss Demon's memory contamination techniques to completely erase most of their life-saving measures. To prevent these jade immortals from reviving elsewhere with resurrection methods, spreading everything that happened inside the mansion. Over the past 500 or 600 years, Lin Yuan had secretly killed many demons and was quite familiar with their memory contamination techniques. Even if there were jade immortals who could resist such memory contamination, they would be like Yun Jinzi, using methods such as severing karma and others. Wishing to revive would take tens of thousands of years later. By that time, Lin Yuan reckoned he would have already ended this traversal and returned to the main universe. This dagger, before killing the beast-robed figure, Lin Yuan had also browsed through his memories, aware that the dagger was acquired by the beast-robed figure taking a great risk in killing the offspring of the Lord of North Cold Immortal City. In the memory of the beast-robed figure, the dagger was extremely sharp, able to cut through anything. That's why, after obtaining this dagger, the beast-robed figure believed his strength had increased significantly. However, during the infiltration into Lin Yuan's cave mansion, from beginning to end, the beast-robed figure didn't even have the opportunity to see Lin Yuan before dying under the immense pressure of vast space and time. There was no chance to utilize the dagger. Sharp. Lin Yuan held the dagger and lightly drew it across the skin on his left arm. Suddenly, a wound appeared, then quickly healed. Indeed sharp. Lin Yuan was slightly astonished. His current Taiyang divine spirit, although not as strong as his true body in terms of physical toughness, was still above the level of a jade immortal, given the scale of the world within his body. The vast inner world, continuously nurturing world force, provided nourishment to the body and soul that was incomparable by any natural treasure. Even so, the dagger cut through his skin and flesh with ease. A 12-tier weapon? Lin Yuan scrutinized the black dagger but was still somewhat unsure. Xia the Novel Fire. Net ** website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. The dagger gave Lin Yuan a feeling that it wasn't as simple as a 12-tier weapon. Even if it were a 12-tier weapon, without any power infused into it, relying solely on the weapon's sharpness, it shouldn't have been able to slice his skin so effortlessly. At Lin Yuan's level, the so-called 12th-tier weapons mainly depend on who wields them. In the hands of the strongest, a 12th-tier weapon can shatter anything. However, in the hands of an ordinary Jade Immortal, it's just so. Interesting. An emperor of demonic beings to the right spoke, emerging from devouring countless demonic beings. But devouring demonic beings and devouring immortals weren't the same at all. To the emperors of demonic beings, devouring demonic beings was merely a quantitative accumulation, such as healing injuries through consuming a large number of demonic beings. But devouring immortals? It's more like a complement to themselves in some aspect. In their very instincts, the emperors of demonic beings knew, the more immortals they devoured, the more complete they themselves became. 20 immortals? An emperor of demonic beings to the left roared. I also want 20 Jade Immortals. Ordinary Jade Immortals are all yours, but those top Jade Immortals, they are mine. The leading emperor also chimed in. Top Jade Immortals were more beneficial to the emperors of demonic beings, but comparatively, top Jade Immortals were much rarer and more difficult to deal with. Years later, under the lead of the 6 emperors of demonic beings, the near-infinite demonic beings had already arrived outside Kangwu Immortal City. Evil and twisted demonic chi blanketed the air, and only at this moment did the many immortals of Kangwu Immortal City realize the dire situation they were in. Demonic beings have come to kill? What do we do? What do we do? I heard that these demonic beings have already breached 3 immortal cities. Let's go out, I want to flee. Go out? Inside the immortal city, relying on the city's protection, there is still a chance to survive, but fleeing? I'm afraid you'd be devoured by those demonic beings immediately. Inside Kangwu Immortal City, after a brief moment of panic, the many immortals somewhat calmed down. Every immortal who had cultivated to the Transcendence Tribulation stage was cunning and quick-witted. They quickly realized that hiding within the immortal city was their only chance for survival. Fellow Taoists, the demonic beings are just outside. To withstand these demonic beings, we need the power of all Taoists. The voice of the immortal city's master instantaneously appeared in the ears of all immortals. Now, all Taoists, channel all your mana and immortal power into the ground of the immortal city. The enormous Kangwu Immortal City, built over generations by Jade Immortals, had long become a large-scale war immortal artifact. And to activate this large-scale war immortal artifact, it relied solely on a vast number of immortals. Only in this way could the power of Kangwu Immortal City be fully unleashed. The power of the Emperor of Demonic Beings surpasses that of top-tier Jade Immortals, coupled with endless demonic creatures. To deal with them, one must rely on Kangwu Immortal City. Only by unleashing the power of Kangwu Immortal City, this colossal war immortal artifact, can there be hope to resist the Emperor of Demonic Beings and the infinite demonic creatures. The many immortals within the city, also realizing the dire situation, hesitated not to pour all their mana and immortal power into the ground of the immortal city. Rumbling loudly, the massive Kangwu Immortal City, as if coming to life, burst forth with terrifying radiance, spreading towards all directions. Countless demonic creatures at the edges, unable to evacuate in time, were instantly pulverized. Humph, relying on the power of the immortal city again, the same old tactic. Deep within the endless demonic creatures, 6 emperors of demonic beings watched with cold detachment. Their combined strength was such that they could confront Kangwu Immortal City head-on and even suppress it. But to ensure their safety, they still sent out a large number of demonic creatures to approach Kangwu Immortal City actively. Millions, tens of millions, and hundreds of millions of demonic creatures died under the envelopment of the celestial radiance, also depleting a considerable part of Kangwu Immortal City's foundation. Where is the Emperor of Demonic Beings? Within the city, the Lord and other top brass were slightly anxious. With so many demonic creatures gathering outside the city, there must be an Emperor of Demonic Beings covertly commanding them. The ultimate strike of the Immortal City was also reserved for that Emperor of Demonic Beings. Only by killing or severely wounding the Emperor of Demonic Beings is there hope for victory. Otherwise, the Emperor will continually summon an endless stream of demonic creatures to attack the city. Time passed by. The endless stream of demonic creatures did not diminish at all. The Lord of the Immortal City and other top brass began to despair. At that moment, a hazy black demonic chi quietly spread closer. 6 towering figures suddenly appeared in front of Kangwu Immortal City, raising their right hands and pressing down. Not good. The faces of the Lord of the Immortal City and other top brass drastically changed. 6 emperors of demonic beings. There are actually 6 emperors of demonic beings. The Lord of the Immortal City felt parts of the city's structure collapsing. The 6 emperors of demonic beings had been hiding in the shadows, using endless demonic creatures to deplete most of the city's power before appearing silently to deliver a fatal blow. It's over. Despair surged within the heart of the Lord of the Immortal City. He even felt that if it weren't for trying to take Kangwu Immortal City without damage, the 6 emperors of demonic beings might not have given their all. Otherwise, Kangwu Immortal City would have been breached long ago. Demonic creatures have entered the city already. The Lord of the Immortal City looked downward, vaguely seeing countless demonic chi seeping into the city walls. The demonic creatures have broken in. Run. Run? Where can we run to? Outside are demonic creatures, now they have come inside. Where can we run to? Since we can't escape, let's fight the demonic creatures. Inside the Immortal City, it was utter chaos. Many immortals were panicked or resolute, and some fled deeper into the city. Cave Mansion area. Yun Zhenzi, through the grand formation of the Cave Mansion, observed the entire situation of the Immortal City. Is the Immortal City about to fall? Yun Zhenzi's face turned pale as he looked towards the exterior of the city, where the 6 towering emperors of demonic beings and the endless stream of incoming demonic creatures were. Master! Quickly inform the Master. Before the appearance of the 6 emperors of demonic beings, Kangwu Immortal City was on the upper hand against the invasion of the endless demonic creatures, slaying as many as approached. Sir the Nafire. At website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Until the 6 emperors took action, the situation reversed instantly, making Yun Zhenzi realize something terrible was about to happen. Cultivation area. Lin Yuan's brows furrowed deeply. Is the Immortal City about to be breached? Upon receiving Yun Zhenzi's notification, Lin Yuan opened his eyes. He felt he was just a whisper away from the space-time 7th realm. A few more years of secluded cultivation, maybe even just a few months, would allow him to step into a whole new level of the space-time domain. Has the situation gotten this dire? Lin Yuan stood up, walked out of the cultivation area, and joined Yun Zhenzi. Through the grand formation of the Cave Mansion, he looked towards the entire situation of the Immortal City. Master, what should we do now? There are 6 emperors of demonic beings outside. Yun Zhenzi's voice trembled slightly. Having experienced more than one battle between immortals and demons, he knew how terrifying the emperors of demonic beings were. They were the terrifying beings that surpassed the top-tier Jade Immortals. What to do? Lin Yuan was not in a good mood, glanced at Yun Zhenzi with his pallid face, stretched out his arm, and casually reached towards the sky. In an instant, all the infinite demonic creatures vanished without a trace, as if wiped from existence. Outside Kangwu Immortal City, the sky cleared and all was silent. Yun Zhenzi's mouth fell open, because at that moment, he clearly saw Lin Yuan, With one hand, grab and hold the myriad demonic creatures and the 6 emperors of demonic beings. Those 6 towering emperors of demonic beings were no match for even 1/10 of Lin Yuan's finger, caught between his fingers. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 911, The Seventh Realm of Space and Time. Subscription requested. The Emperor of Demonic Beings is very special. His level of power far surpasses that of the top Jade Immortals. After all, the demonic creatures are but a condensation of a wisp of demonic chi from the ancestor of the demon abyss. And the Emperor of Demonic Beings is the ultimate form born from the endless sea of demonic creatures. It's not an exaggeration to say that he is an incarnation of the ancestor of the demon abyss. Therefore, in the numerous wars between immortals and demons, what the immortals of the immortal realm dread the most is the Emperor of Demonic Beings. SAR the Novel Fire. NT website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. As for the ordinary demonic creatures, even in endless numbers, they could not possibly breach the defense formations of the great immortal cities. As long as they endure until the passage to the demon abyss dissipates, that will be enough. Having experienced several wars between immortals and demons, Yun Jinzi is well aware of the terror of the Emperor of Demonic Beings. Even with the help of an immortal city, a massive war immortal artifact, at best one can only inflict severe injuries, with virtually no hope of achieving a kill. However, now, in the eyes of Yun Jinzi, the power of an entire immortal city can barely rival the Emperor of Demonic Beings. Yet he is now struggling desperately between the fingers of Lin Yuan. Master. Yun Zenzi's mind seems to be in a muddle. When he first entered the spirit world of Lin Yuan, he witnessed that towering figure symbolizing unparalleled spiritual will, leaving Yun Jinzi almost believing that Lin Yuan might be the ancestor of the immortal path, the supreme being. But Yun Jinzi soon abandoned this thought, as there are significant differences between the ancestor of the immortal path and Lin Yuan. The ancestor of the immortal path resides high in the origin of the immortal realm, looking down upon all immortals, obviously not the case for Lin Yuan. Over the years, Lin Yuan has displayed horrific alchemy skills and means beyond what even top Jade Immortals could match. But there's still a large gap between him and the ancestor of the immortal path. But now, Yun Jinzi is once again plunged into confusion, single-handedly capturing a sky full of demonic creatures, among which there are 6 emperors of demonic beings. Who other than the ancestor of the immortal path could perform such a feat? Jade Immortals? No matter how many Jade Immortals there are, as long as they dare to leave the immortal city and lose its protection, they are nothing but delectable food in the eyes of the Emperor of Demonic Beings. Since the emergence of the demon abyss, there has never been a case where a Jade Immortal, relying solely on their own power, has managed to briefly contend with the Emperor of Demonic Beings. If they cannot even contend, let alone suppress, and here it's suppressing 6 at once. Emperor of Demonic Beings? Lin Yuan looks at his right palm, his gaze falling on those 6 emperors of demonic beings. About to step into the 7th realm of space-time, almost reaching the threshold of this level, only to be interrupted by these demonic beings, causing Lin Yuan slight impatience. Therefore, he took direct action. If saying when Lin Yuan first arrived in the immortal realm, he needed to keep a low profile, endure when possible, to avoid attracting the attention of the ancestor of the immortal path or the ancestor of the demon abyss prematurely, then now, with the breakthrough to the 7th realm of spacetime imminent, there is no longer any need to deliberately endure. Even now, Lin Yuan already possesses some of the characteristics of the 7th realm of spacetime. For example, suppressing the 6 emperors of demonic beings with a single palm. Such suppression is not about absolute power. Currently, Lin Yuan's Taiyang divine spirit, aside from the spiritual will, is not necessarily stronger in other aspects than an individual emperor of demonic beings. Upon advancing to the 2nd layer in the immortal realm, there is no such thing as being instilled with the origin source of the immortal realm. Therefore, even with the mystical gourd blessing, the world within the Taiyang divine spirit is only a few 100 million miles in circumference. In terms of the physical body, the vast majority of resources obtained in the immortal realm are sent as much as possible to the true body, the origin. The strength of the Taiyang divine spirit's physical body is approximately at the level of a regular emperor of demonic beings. The endless demonic creatures and the 6 emperors of demonic beings struggle in vain in the palm of Lin Yuan's hand, the root cause being the suppression of the space-time domain. Lin Yuan suppresses all the demonic beings firmly with the space-time rule domain. With Lin Yuan's current understanding of space-time, even if he truly faces the ancestor of the immortal path or the ancestor of the demon abyss, he would still manage with ease. The key point is that, at this moment, the one acting is merely the Taiyang divine spirit, which can be completely discarded when necessary. The true body, the origin, resides in hidden, unknown places, isolated by the cause and effect of space-time, and even the ultimate beings of the 12th layer, such as the ancestor of the immortal path, would take a tremendous amount of time to locate and lock onto it. Chapter 912 The Seventh Realm of Spacetime. Please subscribe. _2 In an instant, within the palm-sized universe, spacetime collapsed, endless demonic creatures turned into dust before the boiling spacetime, and the 6th emperor of demonic beings persisted for a few moments before also becoming nothing but ashes. All the demonic creatures were shattered by the power of spacetime, then transformed into the most primordial demonic chi by the primal force. This most primordial demonic chi, which belongs to the ancestor of the demon abyss, was suppressed by Lin Yuan as part of his research on the ancestor of the demon abyss lying dormant in the depths of the demon abyss. Just after the foremost emperor of demonic beings among the 6 utterly perished, billions of miles away from Kangwu Immortal City, the remaining demonic chi converged, once again forming a silhouette. However, compared to the majestic stature of a normal emperor of demonic beings, this silhouette had shrunk significantly, and its aura was weak, having fallen to the level of an ordinary jade immortal. I survived! The emperor of demonic beings was ecstatic. Most emperors of demonic beings were invincible in their own right, with no need to prepare any means of survival. However, this emperor of demonic beings was naturally cautious, and even when attacking the nearly invincible Kangwu Immortal City, it had left a will hidden elsewhere in advance. Sure enough, this now came into great use. With the physical body perished, the will resurrected, it was like having come back to life. Demon Abyss. Without hesitation, the Emperor of Demonic Beings called upon the Demon Abyss, seeking to escape into its depths. From beginning to end, it never knew why its true self died, nor who had killed it. But that did not stop the fear of the Emperor of Demonic Beings. If it did not escape now, there would be truly no chance to flee. Buzz, buzz, buzz. The vast phantom of the demon abyss descended, like a colossal mouth that sought to swallow the Emperor of Demonic Beings in one gulp. But the next moment, a gigantic hand composed entirely of spacetime stretched out. It forcibly snatched the Emperor of the Demon Abyss right from under that colossal maw. The Demon Abyss power lingered for a while, but eventually dissipated swiftly. Still trying to run? Lin Yuan looked at the ant-like creature within his palm and casually crushed it, suppressing the primordial demonic chi once more. No response from the ancestor of the immortal path yet? Since taking action, most of Lin Yuan's attention had not been on the demonic beings but rather upon the origin of the immortal realm, watching for any movements from the ancestor of the immortal path. Apart from the exalted ancestral master, he could not conceive of any other being capable of resolving the situation so effortlessly. My ancestor among the many top-tier Jade Immortals, a young-looking Jade Immortal hesitated slightly, then shook his head and spoke. As a disciple of the ancestral master, he knew that the ancestral master would definitely not take action during this time, otherwise, he would not have allowed 3 immortal cities to be breached. It wasn't the ancestral master who acted? The city lord of the immortal city and other high-ranking figures fell into silence, mostly convinced. Sir, the novel F.I.R. Net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. After all, If Ancestral Master had made a move, the divine presence of the immortal realm would enshroud the entire immortal realm. All demonic beings would retreat, and even the demon abyss would keep its distance. But now, besides Kangwu Immortal City, the other domains in the immortal realm are still ravaged by demonic beings. This does not align with the scenario where Ancestral Master would intervene. However, if it wasn't Ancestral Master who acted, then who would have intervened? Apart from Ancestral Master, who else in the immortal realm could possibly have the means to resolve 6 Emperor of demonic beings in an instant? The City Lord of Immortal City and other high-level officials could not understand. Have you noticed something amiss with the cave mansion area of our immortal city? While the many high-ranking officials of the immortal city were in deep contemplation, a vice city lord began to check the overall situation of the immortal city and immediately discovered the anomaly. Under the siege of infinite demonic beings and the 6th Emperor of demonic beings, the defense formation of Kangwu Immortal City had collapsed a great deal, and its internal formations were likewise damaged extensively. Now, the entirety of Kangwu Immortal City looks like a sieve full of holes, where one can see from one end to the other. The numerous lofty officials, who had partial control over the Immortal City's formation, were able to observe the entire Immortal City without any impediment, from beginning to end. After all, Kangwu Immortal City is now akin to half a ruin, with most formations collapsed, making it difficult to conceal any secrets. Under such circumstances, the cave mansion area of the Immortal City, one particular Grade A cave mansion, remained intact in stark contrast with other Grade A mansions around it. If it were just like that, it would be let go. Maybe it was just the luck of this specific mansion that prevented it from being affected by the repercussions. But now this Deputy City Lord, using the remaining authority of the Immortal City's formation, was still unable to peek into that Grade A cave mansion. He immediately sensed that something was amiss. Moreover, during the demonic siege on the city, all immortals from the mansion area had mostly fled their domiciles. Apart from this Grade A mansion, the rest were all empty. Such anomalies naturally caught the attention of the many high-ranking officials of the Immortal City. This mansion, the City Lord of the Immortal City's expression shifted slightly. As a top-tier Jade Immortal, he also noted that in contrast to the panicked owners of other mansions, this Grade A mansion seemed incredibly composed, showing no sign of fleeing. It was as if they had already known that the demonic beings outside would be taken care of. This made the officials of the Immortal City cannot help but speculate. Might the owner of this Grade A mansion have some connection with the being who resolved the demonic beings outside the Immortal City? Is it Master Yun Zensi's mansion? The Hall Master of Flying Immortal Hall was also somewhat incredulous. You know the owner of this mansion? The City Lord of the Immortal City's gaze immediately shifted over, and other high-ranking officials also turned their attention. The information on the owners of Grade A mansions within the Immortal City was accessible to many of the Jade Immortals present. But knowing the identity of the mansion's owner does not mean they are acquainted. Within the mansion, at this moment, Lin Yuan sat cross-legged with bursts of enlightenment flashing in his mind. Without the disturbances from those demonic beings outside, Lin Yuan continued to rapidly advance in his comprehension of space-time, approaching the final leap. Space-time, space-time. So this is space-time. Lin Yuan opened his eyes, a smile appearing on his face. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know, report, so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 913, The Confusion of the Ancestor of the Demon Abyss. Please subscribe. Lin Yuan stepped into the 7th realm of time-space without any obstacles. When a great amount of spiritual enlightenment converged, Lin Yuan realized the essence of the 7th realm of time-space. Lin Yuan's accumulation was too profound, coupled with the Immortal Realm's special cultivation environment and the scenes from the origin of the Immortal Realm condensed by the source of immortality, among others. The result of many layers of foundation overlapping. Of course, among all the foundations, the most crucial was Lin Yuan's Against Heaven's understanding. Without Against Heaven's understanding to integrate everything, even if the conditions mentioned above were strengthened tenfold, it would be meaningless. Within the immortal realm, which of the direct disciples of the ancestor of the immortal path did not have a cultivation environment and resources superior to Lin Yuan's? Some could even directly enter the origin of the immortal realm to cultivate. But so far, none of the ancestral master's disciples have stepped into the seventh realm in their comprehension of time-space. Not to mention the disciples of the ancestral master, even the ancestral master himself has never touched the seventh realm regarding time-space understanding. So that's how it is. Lin Yuan came to a realization, and after reaching the seventh realm of time-space comprehension, the time-space he felt seemed to come alive. It was not that time-space had come alive, but rather that time-space was always alive, constantly changing. Lin Yuan was previously unable to feel or observe it. Time-space, this is time-space. Lin Yuan's gaze was distant, and the time-space of the entire immortal realm became completely visible to him, and even the time-space of the demon abyss beyond the immortal realm became apparent in his eyes. It turns out that the immortal realm and the demon abyss are the same world, but because the fundamental rules are different, obvious distinctions arise. Lin Yuan suddenly understood. Previously, he thought that the demon abyss was just a layer within the space of the immortal realm, but in fact, the demon abyss belongs to the main space of the immortal realm, and to the demon abyss, the immortal realm might not even hold a dominant position. The immortal realm and the demon abyss are equal, with no distinction of primary and secondary. A subordinate world of the immortal realm? Lin Yuan's gaze shifted. Following the vast and endless power of time-space, he looked beyond the immortal realm. The realm of the immortal realm is supremely lofty, at the pinnacle of this dimension. However, below the immortal realm, there are 3,333 worlds rising and falling. Among these 3,333 worlds, the spirit realm where Lin Yuan once descended was unmistakably among them. And below these 3,333 worlds, each world is connected to over 1 million lower-level worlds, including the world of the central divine China. 3,333? This number again? Lin Yuan pondered for a moment, then withdrew his gaze. With his current mastery over time-space, if he wished, he could descend to any world within this dimension. But it's meaningless. Lower-level worlds would probably struggle even to accommodate Lin Yuan, like how the world of central divine China previously would have been smaller than the world within Lin Yuan's body. What good would descending there do? My current strength. Lin Yuan began to review his own strength. According to the information left by Shen Huang and the Moyu Tower Master, normally only a 12th-layer sovereign could reach the 7th realm of time-space. A few of the very top path-splitting 12th layers also have a chance to touch it. That is to say, with only his comprehension of time-space, Lin Yuan is now superior to the vast majority of 12th-layer path-splitting beings. With time-space comprehension, in direct combat, Lin Yuan is not a match for the ultimate 12th layers, but he can completely use his comprehension of time-space to play with those ultimate 12th layers. Just like with the Shen Huang secret realm, which obviously opens once every tens of thousands of years deep within the main universe's time-space, yet all the ultimate 12th layers can't lock onto its coordinates. This is suppression from the rule level. This is the 7th realm of time-space. Lin Yuan thought rapidly to himself. For nearly all life forms, the difficulty of realizing the 7th realm of time-space is greater than achieving the ultimate form. After all, most of the 12th-layer path-splitting realm powerhouses have not reached the 7th realm in their time-space comprehension. Lin Yuan's thoughts stirred, and after his comprehension of time-space entered the 7th realm, with but a thought, his true body and primordial spirit, as well as his many avatars, all merged into the depths of time-space. Even the ultimate 12th layers couldn't detect the slightest trace unless Lin Yuan chose to reveal himself. Simply put, the current Lin Yuan is like a high-dimensional observer. Even the ultimate 12th layers are unable to perceive him if their rule comprehension hasn't reached a certain height. Time-space can be used in this way too? Lin Yuan continued to sense the changes within himself. After reaching the 7th realm of time-space comprehension, the vast time-space before Lin Yuan's eyes seemed to change its appearance, and many previously incomprehensible mysteries of time-space were now all deciphered effortlessly. while Lin Yuan continued to meditate and familiarize himself with the seventh realm of time-space. Outside the cave dwelling, the immortal city's lord and numerous high-ranking powerhouses gathered. They looked nervous and slightly uneasy, sensing that Lin Yuan's dwelling was out of sync with the surrounding environment, and speculating that Lin Yuan might be related to the one who took action against those demonic beings outside the city. After short communications, the immortal city's lord and the high-ranking powerhouses left Kangwu Immortal City, which had nearly become ruins, to visit Lin Yuan at the first opportunity. They had no choice. If Lin Yuan really was related to that powerful being who had acted, their first task wasn't to restore Kangwu Immortal City but to understand the thoughts of that powerful existence, as well as to see if there were any demands. After all, the intervention couldn't have been without reason. Without understanding these, the Immortal City's lord and the high-ranking powerhouses wouldn't be able to sleep peacefully, let alone stabilize the situation in Kangwu Immortal City. City Lord Yun Jinzi, acting as the housekeeper of the dwelling, immediately opened the gate and came out. If this were before, facing the joint arrival of the Immortal City's lord and other high-ranking powerhouses, Yun Jinzi would be somewhat nervous, given that these were figures she could not even look up to a myriad of years ago. Even among Jade Immortals, the gap would be even greater, and the former Yun Jinzi, while strong among ordinary Jade Immortals, was far inferior to the top Jade Immortals. And now, the current visitors are not just ordinary Jade Immortals, their backgrounds are incomparable to Yun Zenzi's. But now, recalling Lin Yuan's effortless grasp of the myriad demonic beings just a moment ago, Yun Jinzi stood up straight, with dignity and assertiveness, and said, "Gentlemen, what brings you here? Is the master present inside?" The Immortal City's lord and other Jade Immortals exchanged looks. The city lord spoke up proactively. "The master is in seclusion," Yun Jinzi replied succinctly. This was also instructed by Lin Yuan before he began his cultivation retreat, that anyone who wanted to visit him should be rejected under this pretext. Sarch * the Novel Fire. Net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Unless something truly critical had occurred that affected the entirety of the Immortal City. In retreat. The Lord of the Immortal City paused slightly, surprised. The other giants behind him also felt a shiver in their hearts. In retreat? At a time like this? Kangwu Immortal City had just survived a near-catastrophic crisis, and all immortals, including many top Jade Immortals like the city lord himself, could have been devoured by countless demonic creatures. The demonic chi it randomly released condensed into numerous demonic creatures, which fought and devoured each other, eventually giving rise to several emperors of demonic beings. One of my children has died? Suddenly, this immense consciousness noticed something. A mass of demonic chi converged, forming a supreme throne upon which a figure appeared, sitting on the throne. He is the ancestor of the demon abyss. For the ancestor of the demon abyss, the life and death of ordinary demonic beings are of little concern, not to mention invading the immortal realm. Even within the demon abyss, countless ordinary demons perish every moment. But an emperor of demonic beings? Emperors of demonic beings could be considered the ancestor of the demon abyss incarnations, also his children. In the demon abyss, the emperors are immortal. They are blessed and protected by the entire abyss. The collapse of an emperor of demonic beings would alert the slumbering ancestor of the demon abyss. Who exactly is it that killed my child? The ancestor of the demon abyss gaze was pitch black as he began to trace the signs in the void, locking onto the final memories of the deceased emperors of demonic beings. Is it there? The eyes of the ancestor of the demon abyss flickered with the visions experienced by the 6 deceased emperors of demonic beings. Found it. The ancestor of the demon abyss faintly locked onto a location. However, just as the ancestor of the demon abyss was about to pinpoint the exact coordinates, he suddenly sensed the space-time turn nebulous, the coordinates he had locked onto abruptly splitting in two. Then for 8. It was as if it existed in all space-time, yet as if it existed in none at all. The ancestor of the demon abyss revealed a look of confusion. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc. Please let us know report so we can fix it as soon as possible. A deep voice echoed in the minds of the four emperor of demonic beings. Father God? Father God is calling us back? The four emperor of demonic beings were shocked. They originated from the ancestor of the demon abyss, so they also considered the ancestor of the demon abyss as Father God. Let's go back. Father God wants us back. There must be something important. The four emperor of demonic beings reluctantly looked down at the immortal city below. They were just moments away from having that delicious food in their mouths. But none dared defy the command of the ancestor of the demon abyss. It was an instinct embedded deep within their consciousness. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. The four emperor of demonic beings willingly retreated, and the infinite demonic beings also quickly dissipated. In just a short moment, the demonic beings outside Songhai Immortal City all but vanished. What is going on? The sovereign of Songhai Immortal City thought he was sure to perish. Even if he had left measures to save his life elsewhere, if he were to die at the hands of the emperor of demonic beings, the terrible corruption at the level of the soul could render those measures useless. But now, all the emperor of demonic beings have retreated? We survived. Inside Songhai Immortal City, countless immortals wept with joy as they had never expected to live. Those ferocious demons had retreated on their own accords. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc. Please let us know report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 9:15 The Conduit of Spacetime. Please subscribe. _2. Qianxing Immortal City. It was still the scene of endless monstrous creatures sieging the city. The towering emperor of demonic beings had almost all opened their mouths, just waiting for the immortal city to be breached and to devour the countless immortals inside. But in the next moment, the emperor of demonic beings received the command from the ancestor of the demon abyss. They could only lead the infinite monstrous creatures to retreat and return to the demon abyss. Chuyu Immortal City, Xiaohao Immortal City, Heavenly Will Immortal City. In the 33 immortal domains, endless monstrous creatures led by the emperor of demonic beings besieged city after city. But at the same time, all the monstrous creatures withdrew. Even when the besieged cities were just one step away from being broken through, no emperor of demonic beings dared to cross the boundary. What's going on? Why have all those monstrous creatures left? No matter why they left, at least we don't have to die. Yes, being eaten by monstrous creatures is said to be incredibly painful, and one's memory would be tainted. After the initial shock and confusion, the many immortals were extremely exhilarated. Who would choose to die if they could live? Especially facing such a brutal death at the maw of monstrous creatures. Why did the monstrous creatures retreat? Was it the ancestral master? Did the ancestral master take action? Our master should not have made a move. If it wasn't the ancestral master who acted, then who did? The lords of immortal cities and other high-ranking titans, while relieved, also began to speculate on the reason for the monster's withdrawal. The most likely speculation was that the ancestral master had made a move, but even the disciples of the ancestral master didn't know the ins and outs of this matter. Logically speaking, if the ancestral master had really acted, these disciples of the ancestral master would definitely have heard some rumors. Kangwu Immortal City. In front of the Grade A cave dwelling, the Lord of the Immortal City and many other high-ranking titans were respectfully waiting. Suddenly, the information that the endless monstrous creatures ravaging the 33 immortal domains had withdrawn reached the hands of the top Jade Immortals. The 33 immortal domains are vast and boundless. Even for mighty Jade Immortals continuously shifting through the void, it would probably take hundreds of thousands to millions of years to traverse all the domains. But the transmission of messages is much simpler than direct walking. Through the links between causality rules, Strong beings like golden immortals and jade immortals can achieve instant communication. All the monstrous creatures have withdrawn. And the other demonic beings from various immortal domains that withdrew on their own volition. The Kangwu Immortal City Master cautiously probed. The retreat of all demonic beings had something to do with Lin Yuan, though it was merely speculation. That was the intention of the ancestor of the demon abyss, Lin Yuan said. This was the truth. While Lin Yuan's power could easily crush demonic beings, including the Emperor of Demonic Beings, he did not have the authority to command them. Only the ancestor of the demon abyss had the power to orchestrate such a unified retreat of all demonic beings back to the demon abyss. The intention of the ancestor of the demon abyss. The immortal city master swallowed hard. Although Lin Yuan did not explicitly say it, by referring to the ancestor of the demon abyss, his tone suggested a kind of parody. Right? Lin Yuan looked down at the petrified top-tier jade immortals and suddenly said, "Do me the favor of spreading the word that from today onwards, all who practice martial Tao are under my lineage." The main reason Lin Yuan met with the Immortal City Master and others was precisely for this matter. For the evolutionary pathway of martial Tao to spread thoroughly across the 33 realms of the Immortal Realm, it is necessary to make the Immortals aware of Lin Yuan's methods. Having the Kangwu Immortal City Master and other top-tier Jade Immortals disseminate this information is most efficient. At least within the Shentian Immortal Domain, the spread of the evolutionary pathway of martial Tao would encounter no obstacles. Having stepped into the 7th realm of space-time, Lin Yuan had no more apprehensions in this immortal realm and naturally sought to spread the pathway of martial Tao. The 33 realms of the immortal realm are vast and boundless. Should martial Tao spread here, it shall greatly aid Lin Yuan in his ultimate ascent. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know report so we can fix it as soon as possible. You're tuning in to the Legend of the Vagabond YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.